evening. I'm Dana Bash, anchor of CNN.
We are live.
Politics and co-anchor of State of the
What's
Union.
going on, man?
Let's get it done. I got $15 on Biden, dog.
You can hear okay?
Yeah, I can hear it.
This evening, our job is to facilitate a debate between the two candidates tonight. Before we introduce them, we want to share
What up,
the
y'all?
rules of
Welcome
the
to the
debate with the
Chronicles.
audience
We
at
are
home.
live streaming the
President
debate.
Trump will be on the left side of the screen. President Biden will be appearing on the right. A coin toss determining their
We'll see how this goes.
Each candidate will have 2
let's
minutes
go.
to answer a question.
Let me see if it's
and
on my page.
1 minute each for responses.
I told everybody
and
at work I was going
An
to watch
additional
the
minute
debate.
For follow-up clarification
They were like,
or response
ugh.
is at the moderator's discretion.
When it's time for a candidate
That's
to
how
speak,
unenthused
his microphone
everybody
will be
is.
turned on.
Yes, man,
His
at
opponent's
all.
microphone will be
Yeah.
turned off. Should a candidate interrupt when his microphone is muted,
All right,
it
let's
will
get
be
this shit.
difficult
The
to
name of my
understand
post
for
is I got
viewers at
15
home.
on Biden.
At the end of the debate,
I think
each
that
candidate
shit's
will get
whack,
2
man. That
minutes for
they're
closing
muting
statements.
mics and
There
all
is
that.
no
I don't like
studio
these
audience
rules,
tonight.
man.
They taking
Pre-written
the
notes,
excitement out of
or
it.
contacts
Yeah.
with campaign staff are not permitted during the debate. By accepting our invitation to debate, both candidates and their campaigns agreed
I think
to
it's
accept
pussy, man.
these
The goddamn
Now, please
Biden
welcome
wants to do
the
the
46th
but with both
president
of
of the
them.
United States,
Why
Joe
aren't
Biden.
we doing?
Hey,
Joe
don't be
Rogan?
talking about my president walking out. You see him? You see him? Let's go, Uncle Joe.
Here he go.
Let's go, Uncle Joe. Don't fall down. Don't fall
Please
down.
welcome the 46th president of the
Let's
United
go, Uncle
States,
Joe. Don't
Donald
fall
Trump.
down. Don't fall down.
Oh yeah, you got an echo.
Yeah, hold on.
Oh no, that's me. That's me.
Okay.
You can still hear the debate.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Okay.
Gentlemen,
I have
thanks
my
so
cell
much for being
phone.
here. Let's
Let me turn
begin
my
the
volume
debate,
down.
and
That's my
let's start
cell
with
phone.
the issue that
Okay.
voters consistently say is their top concern, the economy. President
let's start
Biden,
with that.
inflation has slowed, but prices remain high. Since you took office, the price of essentials has increased.
No shit.
For example, a basket of groceries that cost $100 then
$500.
now costs more than $120. And typical home prices have jumped more than 30%. What do you say to voters who feel they are worse off under your presidency
Look
than
at
they
his
were
Look at his
eyes.
under
face. Look
President
at his face. I can't believe they said this shit.
What I was left when I became president, what Mr. Trump left me. We had an economy that was in free fall. The pandemic was so badly handled.
What's wrong with his
Many
voice?
people were dying. All he said was, "It's not
Shouts
that
to the
serious.
27
Just been
people in the
gentle
live
release
chat.
into your arms."
Already.
The economy collapsed. There were no jobs.
28.
Unemployment rate rose to
Look at
15%.
Trump's face, man.
It was terrible.
Trump looking like, what
And
the
so
fuck
we
is he
had to
talking
try to
about?
put things back together again. And that's exactly what we began to do.
What is he,
Created
horse?
15,000
Must
new
be.
jobs. We brought out the position where we have 800,000 new manufacturing jobs, but there's more to be done. There's more to be done. Working class people are still in trouble. I come from Scranton, Pennsylvania. I come from a household where the kitchen table, if the things weren't able to be met during the month, it was a problem. Price of eggs, the price of gas, the price of housing, the price of a whole range of things. That's why I'm working so hard to make sure I deal with those problems. And we're going to make sure that we
32
reduce
people in the
price of
live
housing.
chat. Let's
We're
go.
going to make sure we build 2 million new units.
Welcome,
We're gonna
newcomers.
Make sure we cap rents so corporate
I
greed
am
can't take
streaming
over.
this
The
on
combination
YouTube, too.
that I was left with in corporate
Good deal.
greed is the reason
For
why
everybody,
we're
it's your first time seeing me. You got to pardon my
addition to
comments.
that,
Pay me no
a
goddamn mind.
situation where if you take a look at all that was done in his administration, he didn't do much at all. By the time he left, things were in chaos, literally chaos. And so we put things back together. We created, I said, those jobs. We make sure we had a situation where we now
That comb
we
over is
brought down the
comb.
price
Look
of
at it.
prescription drugs.
Look
which
at the
is a
comb
major
over,
issue
comb.
for many people, to $15 for
If Trump sneezes, his go fly off.
an insulin
No,
shot.
that's what I'm talking
goes
about.
back to
Yeah,
$100.
if it sneezes, go
No
fly
senior
off.
has to pay more than
It look like
$200
cotton candy
for any
when it's being
drug,
made.
all the drugs we can include beginning next year. And the situation is making, and we're going to make that
37
available to
people
everybody.
in
Hey,
Let's
what's up,
go.
y'all? What up, squad?
Let's go.
And that's what we're going
I
to
still can't see no chats,
Thank
man.
you,
You let me
President
know
Trump.
if you see
I ain't
anybody.
getting
Let
shit.
me know.
economy in the history of our country. We have never done so well. Everybody was amazed by it. Other countries were copying us. We got hit with COVID, and when we did, we spent
you
the money
camp the shoulder
necessary
like
so we
that?
wouldn't end up in a Great Depression, the likes of which we had in 1929. By the time we finished, so we did a great job. We got a lot of credit for the economy, a lot of credit for the military, and no wars, and so many other things. Everything was rocking good. But the thing we never got the credit for, and we should have, is getting us
I
out of
see you,
that
John.
COVID
What's up?
mess. He created mandates that was a disaster for our country. But other than that,
I'm taking a picture
we
of
had
the
given them
numbers
back
so far.
a
Already.
country where the stock market
I can't
actually
see the
was
numbers
higher
on my-
than
on my side. I got
pre-COVID,
two people
and
on my
nobody
side
thought that
watching.
was
I
even
got you.
possible.
I'm sending
The
it.
only jobs he created are for illegal immigrants and bounce back jobs, a bounce back from the COVID. He has not done a good job. He's done a poor job, and inflation's killing our country.
Look at that,
It is
baby. I
absolutely
sent it to
killing
your
us.
chat.
Thank you, President Biden.
Hey, at
Well, look, the
42.
greatest economy in the world.
Hey,
He's the
let's
only one
go.
who thinks that, I think. I don't know anybody else who thinks he had the greatest economy in the world. And,
Man,
you know, the fact
hold on,
of
man.
the matter
I
is
gotta turn my
that,
fan off so I can hear this
we find
motherfucker.
ourselves in a situation where his economy, he rewarded the wealthy.
Yo,
He had the
your
largest
fan
tax
is
cut in
louder
American
than
history,
Biden?
$2 trillion.
Watch your
He
goddamn
has a
mouth.
deficit larger than any president has in any one term. He's the only president other than Herbert Hoover who's lost more jobs than he had when he began, since Herbert Hoover. The idea that he did something that was significant, and the military, you know,
Talk about my
when
damn
he was
president.
they were still killing people in Afghanistan. He didn't do anything about that. When he was president, we were still found ourselves in a position where you had a notion that we were this safe country. The truth is, I'm the only president this century that doesn't have any, this decade, that doesn't have any troops dying
Why is
anywhere in
his
the world
eyebrows like that?
he did.
President Trump,
the
I
fuck
want
did
to
he
follow
just
up
say?
if I can.
I
You didn't have
can't
no troops dying.
You got to
Well, I'm
turn
gonna
your
ask you a follow-up.
fans
You can
down,
do whatever
man.
you want with the minute that we give you. I want to follow up. You want to impose a 10% tariff on all goods coming into the U.S. How will you ensure that that doesn't drive prices even higher?
It's not going to drive them higher. It's just going to cost countries that have been ripping us off for years, like China and many others, in all fairness to China. It's going to just force them to pay us a lot of money,
China's
reduce our
ripping us
deficit tremendously,
Yep.
and give us a lot of power for other things. But he made a statement. The only thing he was right about is I gave you the largest tax cut in history. I also gave you the largest regulation cut in history. That's why we had all the jobs. And the jobs went down, and then
Oh,
they bounced
man.
back. And he's taking
I'm gonna
credit
keep
for
taking
bounce back
pictures
jobs.
as
You
we
can't
going
do that.
on. Don't
He
mind
also
me,
said
nigga.
Do you
he
think, man?
inherited 9% inflation. No, he inherited almost no inflation, and it stayed that way for 14 months. And then it blew up under his leadership because they spent money like a bunch of people that didn't know what they were doing, and they don't know what they were doing. It was the worst, probably the worst administration in history. There's never been. And as far as Afghanistan is concerned, I was getting out of Afghanistan, but we were getting out with dignity, with strength, with power. He got out. It was the most embarrassing day in the history of our country's life.
President Trump, over the last 8 years, under both of your administrations, the national debt soared to record highs. And according to a new nonpartisan analysis, President Trump, your administration approved $8.4 trillion in new debt. Well, so far, President Biden, you've approved $4.3 trillion in new debt. So, former President Trump, many of the
Look at his
tax cuts
face, man.
that you signed
Come on,
into
Biden,
law
eat
are
his
set
ass
to
up.
expire next year. You want to extend them and go even further, you say.
We're looking lost,
With
man.
the U.S. facing trillion-dollar deficits and record debt, why should top earners and corporations pay even less in taxes than they do now?
Because the tax cuts spurred the greatest economy that we've ever seen just prior to COVID. And even after COVID, it was so strong that we were able to get through COVID much better than just about any other country. But we spurred, that tax spurred. Now, when we cut the taxes, as an example, the corporate tax was cut down to 21% from 39%, plus beyond that. We took in more revenue with much less tax, and companies were bringing back trillions of dollars back into our country. The country was going like never before, and we were ready to start paying down debt. We were ready to start using the liquid gold right under our feet, the oil and gas right under our feet. We were going to have something that nobody else has had. We got hit with COVID. We did a lot to fix it. I gave him an unbelievable situation with all of the therapeutics and all of the things that we came up with. We gave him something great. Remember, more people died under his administration,
Biden got that Terminator
even though
eye.
we had
Get his
largely
ass.
fixed it.
Not
More
the- yeah.
people died under his administration than our administration, and we were right in the middle of it, something which a lot of people don't like to talk about. But he had far more people dying in his administration. He did the mandate,
looked
which is
like
a
he got a shot
disaster.
in the ass,
Mandate.
probably.
He got to use the
The
bathroom.
vaccine went out. He did a mandate on the vaccine, which is the thing that
I'm
people
kidding.
most objected to about the
I ain't.
vaccine. And he did a very poor job, just a very poor
I meant
job.
all that shit.
And I will
Goddamn,
tell
my light too
you,
bright.
not only poor
Yeah.
there, but throughout the entire world, we're no longer respected as a country. They don't respect our leadership. They don't respect the United States anymore. We're like a third world nation between weaponization of his election, trying to go after his political opponent, all of the things he's done. We've become like a third world nation, and it's a shame. The damage he's done to our country, And I'd love to ask him, and will, why he allowed millions of people to come in here from prisons, jails, and mental institutions
Are you
to
asking
come
him?
into our country and destroy our country.
Don't answer that
President Trump,
shit.
We'll get to immigration later in this block. President Biden, I want to give you an opportunity to respond to
He
this
ain't
question
asking a
about the
question.
national debt.
He had the largest national debt of any president in a 4-year period, number one. Number two, that $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. What I'm going to do is fix the tax system.
Somebody said on
we have
X,
1,000
somebody did a
trillionaires in
poll,
America.
does Biden look
Bobby
like a
billionaires in
robot?
America.
76% said yes.
They're in a situation
Bro, that motherfucker I said.
they in fact pay 8.2% in taxes. If they just paid 24%, 25%, either one of those numbers, they
is
raise
going on with the
$500
voice,
billion,
man?
$1 billion, I should say. In
I
a
don't like
10-year
sitting this
period.
close to hear this nigga.
We'd be able to wipe out his debt. We'd be able to help make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to
What about the
strengthen our
veteran
healthcare
care,
system,
man?
making sure that we're able to make every
Fuck them
single
niggas.
solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with.
Trump, you better fucking hold your position.
If we finally beat Medicare,
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
They cut him off.
He's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to
Yeah,
death.
they cut
and
the
he's
mics
destroying
off after a
Medicare
certain amount of time.
Because all of these people are coming in. They're putting them on Medicare. They're putting them on Social Security. They're going to destroy Social Security. This man is going to single-handedly destroy Social Security. These millions and millions of people coming in, they're trying to put them on Social Security. He will wipe out Social Security. He will wipe out Medicare. So he was right in the way he finished that sentence. And it's a shame what's happened to our country in the last 4 years.
And they didn't take the
is
camera
not
off
to
of
be
Biden, man.
believed.
Y'all do that on
Foreign countries,
purpose.
I'm
Y'all know he's
friends
taking
with
a
a lot
nap.
of people. They cannot believe what happened to the United States of America. We're
Does
no
he have
longer
an earpiece
respected.
in?
They don't like
I
us.
don't know.
We give them everything they want, and they think we're stupid. They think we're very stupid people. What we're doing for other countries, and they do nothing for us. What this man has done is absolutely criminal.
Thank you, President Trump. Tana?
This is the first presidential election since the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. This morning, the court ruled on yet another abortion case, temporarily allowing emergency abortions to continue in Idaho, despite that state's restrictive ban. Former President Trump, you take credit for the decision to overturn Roe v. Wade, which returned the issue of abortion to the states.
Correct.
However, the federal government still plays a role in whether or not women have access to abortion pills.
Take another picture.
They're used in about 2/3 of all abortions. As
55.
president,
Thank
would
y'all
you
for watching
block
on
abortion
X,
medication?
Facebook,
First of all, the
YouTube.
Supreme Court
Appreciate y'all,
just
man.
Approved the abortion bill.
Yeah, we appreciate
And
y'all watch
I agree
Biden
with
about
the
to
decision
dismantle
to
this
have done
man.
that, and I will not block it. And if you look at this whole
the fuck you
question
laughing
that
at?
you're asking, complex but not really complex. 51 years ago, you had Roe v. Wade, and everybody wanted to get it back to the states. Everybody, without exception. Democrats, Republicans, liberals, conservatives. Everybody wanted it back. Religious leaders. And what I did is I put 3 great Supreme Court justices on the court, and they happened to vote in favor of killing Roe v. Wade and moving it back to the states. This is something that everybody wanted. Now, 10 years ago or so, they started talking about how many weeks and how many this, and getting into other things. But every legal scholar throughout the world, the most respected, wanted it brought back to the states. I did that. Now the states.
Well, Biden
are
mugging
working
the
it
fuck
out.
out of
If
him. You
look
let
at
him know
Ohio,
you mean
it was a
business out
decision
here.
that was-
He
It was
mean
an
mugging.
end result that was a little bit more liberal than you would have thought.
Biden about to throw a
Kansas,
seawalker.
I would say the same thing. Texas is different. Florida is different. But they're all making their own decisions right now. And right now, the states control it. That's the vote of the people. Like Ronald Reagan, I believe in the exceptions. I am a person that believes. And frankly, I think it's important to believe in the exceptions. Some people, you have to follow your heart. Some people don't believe in that. But I believe in the exceptions.
Woo,
for
64,
rape,
baby. Let's
incest,
go.
and the life of the mother. I think it's very important. Some people don't follow your heart. But
I
you have to
keep
get
taking
elected
pictures
also.
because I
And
don't want
Look,
motherfuckers to
yeah.
think I'm
other
capping. I'm
things.
not
You gotta get
capping.
elected. The problem they have is they're radical because they will take the life of a child in the 8th month, the 9th month, and even after birth. After birth, if you look at
I don't
the
want people to
former
say
governor of
Cuzzo and
Virginia,
Twon
he was
capping.
willing
They
to
don't
do
really
this.
got
He said,
64
we'll put
people
the baby
watching on their
aside,
shit.
and we'll determine what we do with the baby, meaning we'll kill the
Who
baby.
the fuck having abortions after
What
the baby's
happens, we
born? There
bring
ain't
it
no
back to the
abortion.
states, and the country is now
I know,
coming
right? That's
together on this
wild.
issue. It's been a great thing.
Thank you.
Who was the
President Biden?
dude that
It's
said
terrible.
once the baby is
The
born,
fact
the
is that
doctor and the
vast
mom would
majority
have
of
to sit and have a
constitutional scholars
conversation?
supported Roe when it
Who
was
was that?
decided.
You remember what I'm talking
Supported
about?
Roe.
I heard that shit, but I don't know who the fuck said
This
it.
idea that they were all
I
against
was
it
scared to
just
even look some
ridiculous.
dumb shit like
And
that
this
up.
is the guy who says the state should be able to have it. We're in a state where in 6 weeks, you don't even know whether you're pregnant or not, but you cannot see a doctor, and have him decide on what your circumstances are, whether you need help. The idea that states are able to do this is a little like saying we're going to turn civil rights back to the states. Let each state have a different rule. Look, there's so many young women who have been, including a young woman who just was murdered, and he went to the funeral. The idea that she was murdered by an immigrant coming in, they talk about that. But here's the deal: there's a lot of young women are being raped by their in-laws, by their spouses, brothers and sisters. It's just ridiculous, and they can do nothing about it. And they try to arrest them when they cross
Only
state
dads,
lines.
Thank you.
baby.
Damn, they cut him off again. Hey, nice shirt.
By the same people.
Hey,
he
you about to
allows
get a box
come
here
across
probably
our
by the next
border.
couple of weeks.
We have a border that's
Hey.
the most
I'm
dangerous
about to create
place
some,
anywhere in the
just
world.
some logo
Considered the
shirts
most
for you, 'cause
dangerous
we need to
place
wear them hoes
anywhere in
here.
the world. And he opened it up, and these killers are coming into our country, and they are raping and killing women. And it's a terrible thing. As far as the abortion is concerned, it is now back with the states.
Yo,
The
did you hear
states
about
are
that
voting.
13-year-old girl that
In many
got raped
cases,
in New York?
it's
And the
frankly a
dude
very liberal
filmed it?
decision. In many cases, it's
That's
the
crazy,
opposite.
man.
But they're voting,
Yeah,
and it's
man.
bringing it back to
That
the
shit
vote of the
fucking
people,
sick,
which
man.
is what
And
everybody
the
wanted,
neighborhood got him,
including
whooped
the
his ass,
founders
and then
before
Fucked
turned
him
him
they
up.
in.
did This issue,
Fucked
which
him
frankly
up.
they didn't.
Good.
But they would have. Everybody wanted brought back. Ronald Reagan wanted it brought back. He wasn't able to get
Bro,
it.
I think
Everybody
Trump
wanted
just
it brought
repeated
back,
exactly
and
what Biden
many
said.
presidents have tried to get it back.
But
I was the
but
one
what
to do
Biden
it.
said
And again,
kind
this
of
gives it the
kept
vote
Trump.
of the people.
And I don't think he
that's
meant to
where
say
they
that shit.
wanted it. Every legal
Maybe he
scholar
did. Hell, I don't
wanted
know.
it that way.
Staying on the topic of abortion, President Biden, 7 states, I'll let you do that. This is the same
Look at his
topic.
face, like,
7
what?
states have no legal restrictions
Not me.
on how far into a pregnancy a woman can obtain an abortion. Do you support any legal limits on how late a woman should be able to terminate a
God damn,
pregnancy?
Biden, don't look at it like that.
Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. The first time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. The third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state. The idea that the politicians,
That's how I used to look at bum-ass niggas in the club, the way Trump's looking at Biden right now.
women's health.
It's your live, boy.
No politician should be making that decision. A doctor should be making those decisions. That's how it should be
Bum-ass
run.
nigga.
That's what you're going to do. And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v.
Bum-ass
Wade.
nigga.
You can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the
After
former
birth?
governor of Virginia, put the baby down, then we decide what to do with it. So he's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby. Nobody wants that to happen, Democrat or Republican. Nobody wants it to happen.
That is simply not true. The Roe v. Wade does not provide for that.
I thought his
That's not
mic
the
was cut.
circumstance. Only if a woman's life is in danger, she's going to die. That's
got
the only
extra points like
circumstance
LeBron.
which that can happen.
He got extra
but we are
points.
not for late-term
yeah, yeah.
abortion, period. Period.
Under Roe v. Wade, you have late-term abortion. You can do whatever you want, depending on the state. You can do whatever you want. We don't think that's a good thing. We think it's a radical thing. We think the Democrats are the radicals, not the Republicans.
For 51 years, that was the law. 51 years, constitutional scholarship said it was the right way to go. 51 years, and it was taken away because this guy put very conservative members on the Supreme Court. He takes credit for taking it away. What's he going to do? What's he going to do, in fact, if the MAGA Republicans, he gets elected, and the MAGA Republicans control the Congress, and they pass a universal ban on abortion, period, across the board at 6 weeks or 7 or 8 or 10 weeks, something very, very conservative. Is he going to sign that bill? I'll veto it. He'll sign it.
Thank you.
Let's turn now to the issue of immigration and border security.
Trump,
President
shut your
Biden,
ass
a
up.
record number of migrants have illegally crossed the southern border on your watch.
He was trying to talk, they cut his ass off.
and overburdening cities such as New York and Chicago, and in some cases causing real safety and security concerns. Given that, why should voters trust you to solve this crisis?
Because we worked very hard to get a bipartisan agreement that not only changed all of that, it made sure that we are in a situation where you had no circumstance where they could come across the border with the number of border police there are now. We significantly increased the number of asylum
X
officers.
is popping, man.
By the way, the Border
75.
Patrol
God
endorsed
damn.
me, endorsed my
Cooking over
position.
there.
In addition to that, we found ourselves
Thank
in a
y'all for
situation
watching,
where
man.
When he was president, he was separating babies from their mothers, putting them in cages, making sure the families were separated.
Man, he's
That's not the
mumbling,
right way to
man.
go.
Like a
What
mug,
I've done
boy.
since I've changed the law, what's happened? I've changed it in a way that now
The
we're in a
hoarse voice
situation
and the
where
mumbling
with
ain't
40%
helping
fewer
him at
people
all.
coming across the border illegally. That's better than when he
This
left
motherfucker talking like
office.
that in a one-on-one
And I'm gonna
interview.
Continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative.
There you go. Get that shit
Oh,
together.
no.
Get that
Not-
shit together.
Not holding the
Shut
hands.
your ass up, cuz.
Not the
President
blink.
Trump?
This
I
ain't-
don't know what he said
this
at
ain't
the
for
end
you
of
to
that
talk
sentence.
about.
I don't
Look.
think he knows what he said either.
He
Look,
just said, I don't know
we're
what
the
he said.
safest border in the
Let's
history of our country. So
go.
all he had to do is leave it. All he had to do is leave it. He decided
That
to
boy
open up
said,
our
I don't
border,
think he
open
know
up
what he
our
said
country
either.
to people that are from prisons,
Oh.
people
I'm
that
so
are
ashamed.
from mental institutions,
He
insane
said he
asylums.
was doing all the.
Terrorists. We're the
I don't know what he
largest
said
number
at
of
the end.
terrorists
He doesn't
coming
know what he
into our
said
country
either.
Right now. All terrorists, all over the world, not just in South America. All
ashamed.
over the
Cooking.
world, they come from the Middle East, everywhere, all over the world. They're pouring in, and this guy just left it open. And he didn't need legislation because I didn't have legislation. I said, close the border. We had the safest border in history. In that final couple of months of my presidency, we had, according to Border Patrol, who is great, and by the way, who endorsed me for president, but I won't say that, but they endorsed me for president.
Look at
Well,
that fact.
just
Shut
listen
up.
to him. But
Yeah.
look, we had
Punk
the
ass.
safest border in history. Now
Fuck
we
my
have the
bad.
worst border in history. There's never been anything like it. And people are dying all over the place, including the people that are coming up in
Thank you,
caravans.
President Trump.
Yeah,
President
shut
Biden.
his ass up.
The only terrorist who's done anything crossing the border is one who came along and killed under his administration, killed an Al-Qaeda person come in and his administration.
Oh,
Killed three
man.
American soldiers. Killed 3 American soldiers. That's the only terrorist that's there.
I already
I'm not
got a
saying
pop-up,
no terrorists
Biden
ever got
freezing,
killed. The
trying to
idea
answer a question.
They're emptying their prisons.
Damn, they already getting his ass, man.
They
That's
already
simply
getting
not
on
true.
it.
There's no data to support what he said. Once again, he's exaggerating. He's lying.
President Trump, staying on the topic of immigration, you've said that you're going to carry out, quote, the largest domestic deportation operation in American history, unquote. Does that mean that you will deport every undocumented immigrant in America, including those who have jobs, including those whose spouses are citizens, and including those who have lived here for decades? And if so, how will you do it?
Just 1 second. He said we killed 3 people. The people we killed are al-Baghdadi and Soleimani, the 2 greatest terrorists, biggest terrorists anywhere in the world. And it had a huge impact on everything, not just border, on everything. He's the one that killed people with the bad water, including hundreds of thousands of people dying and also killing our citizens when they come in. We are living right now in a rat's nest. They're killing our people in New York, in California, in every state in the union because we don't have borders anymore. Every state is now a border. And because of his ridiculous, insane, and very stupid
Chicago,
policies, people
California,
are coming in and they're
the list
killing
goes
our
on.
citizens
He ain't
at a
lying.
level that we've never seen. We call it migrant crime. I call it Biden migrant crime. They're killing our citizens at a level that we've never
One
seen
more
before.
word
They
on
didn't
that.
ask you what the fuck they call it. And we didn't ask you what you call it.
Over the last few days.
Biden go roast his
One of
ass in
them
a
I just
minute.
spoke
Watch.
to the
Look at
mother,
Biden's face.
And
He thinking of
we
a
just
roast.
had the funeral for this girl, 12 years old. This is horrible what's taken place.
Biden
What's
is
taken
shot.
place in our country.
I
We're
did that
literally
shit.
an uncivilized country now. He doesn't want it to be. He just doesn't know. He opened the borders. Nobody's ever seen anything like. And we have to get a lot of these people out, and we have to get them out fast because they're going to destroy our country. Just take a look at where they're living. They're living in luxury hotels in New York City and other places. Our veterans are on the street. They're dying because he doesn't care about our veterans. He doesn't care. He doesn't like the military at all. And he doesn't care about our
It's a
veterans.
lot of
Nobody
money they're
did worse.
spending on
I had
migrants.
the
That's
highest
not
approval rating for veterans
false.
taking care of the VA. He has the worst. He's gotten rid of all the things that I approved. Choice that I got through Congress, all of the different things I approved, they abandoned. We had by far the highest, and now it's down in less than half. because he's done all these great things that we did. And I think he did it just because I approved it, which is crazy. But he has killed so many people
fact
at
he's
our
saying
border
that
by
shit.
allowing
President Trump.
all of
Yeah.
these people to come
impressive.
in. And
President
it's a
Biden.
very sad day in America.
President Biden, you have the mic.
Every
Shut
single
your ass
thing
up.
says
Your
a lot.
time is up, boy.
Every single one. For example,
Go, Biden.
veterans are a hell of a lot better off since I passed the PACT Act. 1 million of them now have insurance, and their families have it. Their families have it because what happened, whether it was Agent Orange or burn pits, they're all being covered now. And he opposed, his group opposed that. We're also in a situation where we have great respect for veterans. My son spent a year in Iraq, living right next to one of those burn pits, came back with stage 4 glioblastoma.
Well, then why ain't veterans get more money
in
then?
France for D-Day. And I spoke to
That's
all
on
about
both
those
sides.
heroes that
Veterans
died.
should be
I
getting
went to the
more
World War
money.
II
If we love the
cemetery.
military
World
as
War I
much as we
cemetery,
do,
refused to go
we
there.
should be giving more
He was
money to
standing with his
veterans.
four-star
I agree
general.
because
Just saying.
I'm on the receiving end of that, so I agree.
Losers and suckers. My son was not a loser, was not a sucker. You're the sucker. You're the
Get
loser.
his ass! Get his ass, Biden! Uncle Joe ain't bullshit!
Quote, suckers and losers. They made it up. It was in a third-rate magazine that's failing, like many of these magazines. He made that up. He put it in commercials. We've notified him. We had 19 people that said I didn't say it. And think of this. Who would say I'm at a cemetery or I'm talking about our veterans? Because nobody's taken better care. I'm so glad this came up and he brought it up. There's nobody that's taken better care of our soldiers than I have. To think that I would, in front of generals and others, say suckers and losers. We have 19 people that said it was never said by me. It was made up by him, just like Russia was made up. Just like the 51 intelligence agents are made up. Just like the new thing with the 16 economists are talking, it's the same thing. 51 intelligence agents said that the laptop was Russia disinformation.
That's
it
facts.
wasn't. That came from his son
that's true.
Hunter. It wasn't Russia disinformation. He made up the suckers and losers, so he should apologize to me right now.
I saw General Sanders side was on your staff who said you said it, period. That's number one. And number two, the idea that I
Kendrick
have
pulled
to
a-
apologize to you for anything.
Trump pulled
along
a
the line.
Kendrick,
We've
he
done
wants
more for
Tupac's
veterans than any
ring.
president has in American history. American history. And they now are in their family. The only sacred obligation we have as a country is to care for our veterans when they come home and their families and equip them when they go to war. That's what we're doing. That's what the VA is doing now. They're doing more for veterans than ever before in our history.
No, the fuck they ain't.
Topic of
Exactly.
foreign policy. I want to
I'm
begin
speaking
with
from- I'm
Russia's
speaking from
war
real on that shit.
against
That
Ukraine,
is a
which
bold-faced
now in
lie.
its third
No,
year.
the fuck they ain't.
Former President
And that go
Trump,
back as far as I don't know who the
President
fuck was the
Vladimir
president.
Putin
All you
says
motherfuckers
they'll
don't even
only
say that
end
shit.
That's both of
if
them.
Russia
Veterans
keeps the
are
Ukrainian
not getting
territory
the
it has
treatment
already
they should be
claimed,
getting.
and Ukraine abandons its bid to join NATO. Are Putin's terms acceptable to you?
First of all, our veterans and our soldiers can't stand this guy. They can't stand him. They think he's the worst commander-in-chief, if that's what you call him.
Woo!
that
We're
we've ever
throwing
had.
bombs
They can't
now.
stand him. So
We're
let's get
throwing
that straight.
bombs, man.
And they like me more than just about any of them. And that's based on every single bit of
Oh, that's
information.
Biden's cracking a
As far
smile.
as Russia and Ukraine, if we had a real president, the president that knew, that was respected by Putin, he would have never invaded Ukraine. A lot of people are dead right now, much more than people know. You know, they talk about numbers. You can double those numbers, maybe triple those numbers. He did nothing to stop it. In fact, I think he encouraged Russia from going in. I'll tell you what happened. He was so bad with Afghanistan. It was such a horrible embarrassment, most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, that when Putin watched that and he saw the incompetence, that he should have fired those generals, like I fired the one that you mentioned. And so he's got no love lost, but he should have fired those generals. No general got fired for the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country, Afghanistan, where we left billions of dollars of equipment behind. We lost 13 beautiful soldiers, and 38 soldiers were obliterated. And by the way, we left people behind, too. We left American citizens behind. When Putin saw that, he said, you know what? I think we're going to go in and maybe take this was his dream. I talked to him about it, his dream. The difference is he never would have invaded Ukraine, never. Just like Israel would have never been invaded in a million years by Hamas. You know why? Because Iran was broke with me. I wouldn't let anybody do business with them. They ran out of money. They were broke. They had no money for Hamas. They had no money for anything. No money for terror. That's why you had no terror.
No money
at
for
all
lunch either?
during my administration.
No money for lunch either.
This place,
money
the
for
whole
lunch.
world is blowing
No,
up.
fuck
under
them
him.
niggas.
Yeah.
President Biden?
I've never heard so much malarkey in my whole life. Look, the fact of the matter
Malarkey?
is that we're in a situation
Why
where
Biden going deep?
Word.
He going deep.
Iran attacked American troops, caused brain damage for a number of these troops, and he did nothing about it. Recently, not when he was president, they attacked. He said they're just having headaches. That's all it is. He didn't do a thing when the attack took place. Number one. Number two, we got over 100,000 Americans and others
I
out
can't get over the
of,
hoarse
of
voice, man.
Afghanistan during that airlift. Number three, we found ourselves in a
Like,
situation
did he go to
where
like a
take a
World
look at
Cup
what
soccer
Trump did
game
to
or something
Ukraine.
before this shit?
This guy told Trump, do whatever you want and do whatever you want.
I mean, you
And
were
that's
supposed to
exactly
be
what
prepping
Trump
for
did.
this and
Right, how
have
you
your
get there and
voice
can't talk about this bitch,
Do
bro?
whatever
It's,
you want.
I gotta
And
concentrate to
listen
listen.
to what he said when
Drinking
he went.
tea?
He was
You
gonna
should have been
take
doing
keys in
all that
5 days,
shit.
Remember?
Drinking
It's
tea
part of the old
while I'm over
Soviet
sipping
Union.
yak,
That's what he
nigga.
wanted to reestablish. Key.
I
And
guarantee
he, in
when they
fact,
start to
didn't do
talk
it
to
at all.
people
He
about
didn't-
this
wasn't able
debate,
to get
people
it
are going to
done.
bring this
And
up.
they've lost
Nigga,
lost
Biden
thousands
whooping
and
his
thousands
ass.
of troops.
They're going to bring up the
500,000
mumbling. They're
troops.
going to bring up the.
President Trump,
I
as I
never
come back
said
to you
that.
for 1 minute, I just want to
No, you
go
said
back to
that
my
shit.
original question, which is, are Putin's terms acceptable to you? Keeping the
No, they're
territory
not
in Ukraine.
acceptable. No, they're not acceptable. But look, this is a war that never should have started. If we had a leader in this war, he led everybody along. He's given $200 billion now or more to Ukraine. He's given $200
Way too much
billion.
money.
That's a lot of money. I don't think there's ever been anything like it. Every time that Zelensky comes to this country, he
With a
walks away with
turtleneck and
$60
he's getting
billion.
money.
He's the greatest salesman ever. And I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking anything. I'm only saying the money that we're spending
Where's it
on this
going?
war, and we shouldn't be spending. It should have never happened. I will have that war settled between Putin and Zelensky as president-elect before I take office on January 20th. I'll have that war settled. People being killed so
Ain't gonna do
needlessly,
shit.
so stupidly.
Look at
and
Biden.
I will get it
What's Biden
settled,
doing?
and I'll get it
Yeah,
settled
Biden's
first
about to
before I
crush that
take
nigga
office.
again.
President
Hit him
Biden,
with the
you have a minute.
bombs.
The fact is that Putin is a war criminal. He's killed thousands and thousands of people.
Nigga, all
And
of
he
you
has made
guys are
one
war
thing clear.
criminals. What
He
the
wants
fuck?
to
He didn't ask you,
reestablish
nigga.
part of the Soviet Empire, not just a piece. He wants all of Ukraine. That's what he
All
wants.
of y'all
And
are
then you
war
think he'll stop there?
criminals.
Do you think he'll stop when if he takes Ukraine? What do you think happens to Poland? What do you think of Belarus? What do you think happens to those NATO countries? And so if you want a war, you ought to find out what he's going to do, because if in fact he does what he says and walks away, by the way, all that money we give Ukraine are from weapons we make here in the United States. We give them the weapons, not the money at this point. And our NATO allies have produced as much funding for Ukraine as we have. That's why we're strong.
Thank you. Moving on to the Middle East. In October, Hamas attacked Israel,
Did you hear that
killing
one?
more than 1,000 people and taking
hear
hundreds of
Stop the Cap?
hostages. Among those held and thought to still be alive are 5 Americans. Israel's response has killed thousands of Palestinians and created a humanitarian crisis in Gaza. President Biden, you've put forward a proposal to resolve this conflict, but so far Hamas has not released the remaining hostages, and Israel is continuing its military offensive in Gaza. So what additional leverage will you use to get Hamas and Israel to end the war? You have 2 minutes.
Number
2
one,
minutes, nigga.
everyone from the United Nations Security Council straight through the G7, the Israelis and Netanyahu himself have endorsed the plan I put forward.
Back the fuck off, nigga.
Endorsed the plan I put forward. There's just 3 stages to it. The first stage is trade the hostages for a ceasefire. Second phase is a ceasefire with additional conditions.
Somebody put on Twitter,
Third
Joe
phase
Biden is literally about to
the end of the
croak.
war. The only one who wants the war to continue is Hamas. Number one, they're the only ones standing out. We're still pushing hard to get them to accept. In the meantime, what's happened in Israel? We're finding that the only thing I've denied Israel was 2,000-pound bombs. They don't work very well in populated areas. They kill a lot of innocent people. We're providing Israel with all the weapons they need and when they need them. And by the way, I'm the guy that organized the world against Iran when they had a full-blown intercontinental ballistic missile attack on Israel. No one was hurt. No one Israeli was accidentally killed, and it stopped. We saved Israel. We are the biggest
He's got
producer
to get his shit
support for
together.
Israel of anyone in the world. And so they're two different things.
Trump laughing at his ass, man. I don't appreciate that shit.
We continue to send our experts.
He being
our
disrespectful up there.
as to how they can get Hamas like we did bin Laden. You don't have to do it. And by the way, they've been greatly weakened, Hamas, greatly weakened, and they should be. They should be eliminated.
Greatly
But you've got to
weakened?
be
Bitch,
careful
we can
for
take
what
them out.
using certain weapons among population centers.
Just going back to Ukraine for 1 second.
Let's go back.
We have an ocean separating us. The European nations together
That shit growing.
spent 100 billion or maybe more than that, less than us. Why doesn't he call them and say, you got to put up your money like I did with NATO? I got them to put up hundreds of billions of dollars. The Secretary General of NATO said Trump did the most incredible job I've ever seen. They wouldn't have any, they were going out of business. We were spending almost 100% of the money was paid by us. He didn't do that. He's getting all, you got to ask these people to put up the money. We're over $100 billion more spent, and it has a bigger impact on them because of location, because we have an ocean in between. You got to ask them. As far as Israel and Hamas, Israel's the one that wants to go. He said the only one that wants to keep going is Hamas. Actually, Israel is the one, and you should let him go and let him finish the job. He doesn't want to do it. He's become like a Palestinian, but they don't like him because he's a very bad Palestinian. He's a weak one.
President Biden, do you have a minute?
I've never heard so much foolishness.
Well, this motherfucker
Man,
is
let's
roasting.
get to the answers. We can get to the name calling later.
NATO. The idea that we have, our strength lies in our alliances as well. It may be a big ocean, but we're ever able to avoid a war in Europe, a major war in Europe? What happens if, in fact, you have Putin continue to go into NATO? We have an Article 5 agreement. Attack on one is attack on all. You want to start the nuclear war he keeps talking about, go ahead. Let Putin go in and control Ukraine and then move on to Poland and other places. See what happens then. He has no idea what the hell he's talking about. And by the way, I got 50 other nations
man
around
cussing
the
up there.
world to support Ukraine, including Japan and South Korea.
Trump looking at the
because I
chops. Let's see what
understand
he's got.
that this kind of dislocation has a serious threat to the whole world peace. No major war in Europe has ever been able to be contained just to Europe.
That's right. You
President
tell him. You
Trump,
tell
just to
him.
follow up, would you support the creation of an independent Palestinian state in order to achieve peace in the region?
I'd have to see, but before we do that, the problem we have is that we spend all the money. So they kill us on trade. I made great trade deals with the European nations because if you add them up, they're about the same size economically. Their economy is about the same size as the United States. And they were no cars, they don't want anything that we have, but we're supposed to take their
95,
cars,
let's
their
go.
food,
Y'all
their
keep
everything.
sharing
Hey,
this.
Agriculture.
Mike
95
Huncho-
on the
But
X,
the big
man.
thing
Y'all
that
make
changed
sure
is they
y'all
don't wanna
share
pay.
this.
And the only
Mike
reason
Huncho was-
that he
Facebook,
can
let's get
play
it up.
games with NATO
Mike Huncho in the
is because I
comments.
got them to put up
Mike
hundreds
Huncho,
of
what he
billions of
saying?
dollars. I said, and he's right about
Biden
this.
can't say
I
shit
said,
about
no,
immigration. Have
I'm
all
not gonna
the
support
receipts,
NATO
sir.
if you don't pay. He asked me that
Mike
question.
Cuzzo
Would
said
you
he's
guard
got
us
all
against
the
Russia?
receipts.
He
At a
said
very
it looked like he
secret
had a
meeting of the
stroke.
28,
Droopy eye bitch.
states
Yeah.
at that time.
This shit ain't funny to me.
And they said, no, if you don't pay, I won't do that. And you know what happened? Billions and billions of dollars came flowing in the next day and the next months. But now we're in the same position. We're paying everybody's
Thank you.
bills.
Let's turn to the issue of democracy. Former President Trump, I want to ask you about January 6, 2021. After you rallied your supporters that day, some of them stormed the Capitol to stop the constitutionally mandated counting of electoral votes. As president, you swore an oath to, quote, preserve, protect, and defend, unquote, the Constitution. What do you say to voters who believe that you violated that oath through your actions and inaction on January 6th and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I don't think too many believe that. And let me tell you about January 6th. On January 6th,
Ask Nancy Pelosi.
we had a great border. Nobody coming through, very few. On January 6th,
She
we were
admitted she
energy
didn't want to send
independent.
help.
On January 6th, we had the lowest taxes ever. We had the lowest regulations ever. On January 6th, we were respected all over the world. All over the world, we were respected. And then he comes in, and we're now laughed
Nah,
at. We're
nigga,
like
you
a bunch of
initiated
stupid
January
people.
6th.
What
ain't got
happened
to
to
it
the
yet.
United States'
He ain't even got to it
reputation
yet.
under this man's leadership is horrible.
97, let's
including
go. Let's touch 100.
weaponization, which I'm sure at some point you'll be talking about, where he goes after his political opponent because he can't beat him fair and square.
Hey,
You
man,
have
quit
80
throwing these
seconds
fucking
left.
low
My
blows.
question was,
Hey,
what do you
read the
say
fucking
to those
question.
voters who believe that you violated
Biden
the
can't roast.
constitutional oath through your actions and inaction on January 6, 2021, and worry that you'll do it again?
Well, I didn't say that to anybody. I said peacefully and patriotically. And Nancy Pelosi, if you just watched the news from 2 days ago,
swear somebody's
on
just
tape
reading
to
my
her
mind.
daughter, who's a documentary filmmaker, they say.
Filmmaker.
But she's
Filmmaker.
saying, oh, no, it's my responsibility. I was responsible for this. Because I offered her 10,000 soldiers or National Guard, and she turned them down. And the mayor in writing, by the way, the mayor in writing turned it down, the mayor of D.C. They turned it down. I offered 10,000 because
Kathleen
I could
said,
see
"Fuck
I had
Biden."
virtually nothing
No,
to do. They
Let's
asked me to
go,
make a
girl.
speech.
Let's go.
I could see what was
No,
happening.
fuck all
Everybody
that.
was saying they're going to be
Tripping.
there on January 6th. They're going to be there.
Trip Biden
And I
is your
said, you know
fucking
what?
commander-in-chief
A lot of
right now.
people
How dare you
could feel it.
disrespect?
You could feel it too, and you could
He's turning
feel
the
it.
parade rest.
And I said,
Get
you
your
have
ass up right
some
now.
National Guard or whatever.
Fucking
And
talking
I
about fuck
offered it to
Biden.
her,
What the
and
hell
she
is her
now
problem?
admits that she turned it down.
That's the
And it
hey.
was the
That's
same
business.
day
She can
was-
say it.
I
Fuck
don't know.
it.
You can't be very
Let's
happy
go.
with her daughter
Fuck
because
'em.
it made her into a liar. She said, "I take full responsibility for January 6th."
President Biden?
Look, he encouraged those folks.
Did
to
he
go up
just
the
say he
Capitol,
takes full
number one.
responsibility?
I sat in the dining room off
That don't
the
mean
Oval
shit.
Office. He sat there for
missed that
3
part.
hours.
Oh, you did,
3
Biden.
hours
You sat
watching.
somewhere for 3
Begging.
hours.
That's what he
awaiting-
said. That's what the
Wait.
fuck he said.
And a number
Oh,
of
wait.
his colleagues on the Republican side as well to do something, to call for a stop, to end it. Instead, they talked about these people being patriots and great patrons of America. In
Slow
fact,
down, bro.
he says he'll now forgive them for what they've done.
Tell Biden to slow down
They've
talking.
been
He's speeding up
convicted.
too much.
He says he wants
Yeah.
to commute their sentences and say that no.
Motherfuckers
He
started
went to
speaking in
every
curses.
single court in the nation. I don't know how many cases, scores of cases, including the Supreme Court, and they said no, this guy is responsible for doing what was done. He did do a damn thing, and these people should be in jail, and they should be the ones that are being held accountable. And he wants to let them all out. And now he says if he loses again, such a whiner that he is, that it could be a bloodbath.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Cut that motherfucker off. God
But
damn it, he had more to
from
say.
some people that are so innocent, you ought to be ashamed of yourself.
his
What you
mic.
have done, how you've destroyed the lives of so many people. When they ripped down Portland, when they ripped down many other cities, you go to Minnesota, Minneapolis, what they've done there with the fires all over the city. If I didn't bring in the National Guard, that city would have been destroyed.
They accidentally
look at
gave
all
Joe
of
the
the-
downer, or somebody
They
said.
took over big chunks of
I
Seattle.
don't
was all
appreciate these
set to bring in the
motherfuckers
National
roasting
Guard.
Joe.
They heard that. They saw them coming, and they left immediately. What he said about this whole subject is so off. Peacefully patriotic. One other thing.
Once again, I appreciate y'all watching.
The
Already.
Unselect Committee,
That shit drunk.
which
Go
is
hard. We appreciate y'all for real,
basically
for real.
two horrible Republicans that are all gone now, out of office, and Democrats, all Democrats. They destroyed and deleted all of the information they found because they found out we were right. We were right. And they deleted and destroyed all of the information. They should go to jail for that. If a Republican did that, they'd go to jail.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden?
Cut
I wanna
his
give you a minute.
motherfucking mic off.
The only person on this stage is a convicted felon is the man I'm looking at.
That's right.
And the fact of the matter
Stop
is,
it.
No,
That's the
the truth.
on.
I want to hear that shit.
The fact is that there was
I know
no
plenty of
effort on
felons
his
who are
part
very
to stop
nice
what was
people.
going on
So let's
in Capitol
not
Hill.
even
And
do
all
that.
those people,
Let's
every
not
one of
do
those
that.
people
My daddy one of them.
deserves to be convicted. The idea that they didn't kill
Let's
somebody.
not do
just went in and
that.
broke down doors, broke the windows, occupied offices, turned over desks, turned them over statues. The idea that those people are patriots? Come on. When I asked him the first two
I do set a
debates we
different
had,
precedent.
debates we had
If
first
you got
time
a
around,
felon running for
he
president,
said,
but a
"We
felon can't get a
announced
job,
the
that's some crazy
He
shit.
said, no, I'll probably
Exactly.
stand by.
I ain't saying
I-
change the,
like
I ain't,
I
say- I ain't saying change the
He
presidency.
denounced
What I
these
am
guys.
saying is take a
He
deeper
denounced
look
the
into
people
the
we're
felon
talking
that's
about
applying for the
He
position.
denounced the people who attacked that Capitol.
Well, yeah, but
What are you gonna
I
do?
don't think a felon should be hindered
I'm gonna,
from
give you
employment or
a-
anything if they
But
did
no,
their
no, that's-
time.
that's- no, that's-
But
that's
it
what I'm
depends
saying.
on what the felony is, though.
Yeah, that's
After a
exactly
jury
what I'm saying.
convicted
Like,
you
take a
of
look at the
34
felon that's
felonies
coming
last
in.
month.
Take a
You
look
said
at what he
if
did.
reelected, you would
Right.
Motherfucker might be on
have
some
every
simple
right to
felony
go
shit they just
after
got caught up
unconstitutional
in.
political
You know what I mean?
opponents.
So
You
yeah,
just talked
yeah.
about
But
some
fuck
members of
Trump
the
though.
select
I ain't
committee
talking about
on
Trump. Fuck
January
him.
6th going
Hey,
to jail.
so what if he
And your main political
goddamn
opponent is
got a
standing on
felony for
stage with you
bouncing
tonight.
checks? Let him
Can
work
you
at the
clarify
bank.
exactly what it means about you feeling you have every right to go after your political opponents?
Well, I
Yeah.
said,
But I ain't talking about Trump. Fuck him.
retribution
He a
was going to be
felon.
Success. We're going to
Yeah.
make this country successful again, because right now it's a failing nation. my retribution is going to be success. But when he talks about a convicted felon, his son is a convicted felon. At a
He ain't running for president.
His son is convicted, going to be convicted probably numerous other times. Should have been convicted.
You got
before,
34
but his
counts, nigga.
Justice Department let the statute
Watch
of
that shit get
limitations lapse
overturned.
on the most important things. But he could be a convicted felon as soon as he gets out of office. Joe could be a convicted felon with all
But
of
he
the
ain't.
things that he's done. He's done horrible things.
DJ
All of the
Academics
death caused
just
at
said the only way
border,
Joe Biden
telling
wins this
the
debate is if he
Ukrainian
slaps
people
the
that
fuck out of
we're gonna want
Trump.
$1 billion or you change the prosecutor. Otherwise, you're not getting $1 billion. If I ever said that, that's quid pro quo.
He said,
That
I would
we're
rather
not gonna
vote for
do
myself
anything.
than
We're not
vote
gonna
for
give you $1 billion
Biden. And
unless you
nigga, I
change
can't
the
be
prosecutor
president.
having
I
to
was
do with
born
the
in
son.
Jamaica.
This man is a criminal. This man,
Feels like
you're
we
lucky.
talking to
You're
this
lucky.
nigga
I did
Biden through a
nothing
Ouija
wrong.
board,
We
he
have a
says.
system that is rigged and disgusting. I did nothing wrong.
Thank
That's
you, President
DJ
Trump.
Academics
President
right
Biden, you
now.
have said-
Academics a whole ass nigga for that shit,
You-
boy.
Well, you want to respond? Go ahead. I'll give you a minute to respond.
The idea that
Oh, I
did
got to
anything
get the
wrong
picture.
relative to what you're talking about is outrageous.
I got to get the
It's simply a
picture.
lie, number one. Number two,
We
the idea
have
that you
made
have
it
a right
to
seek retribution
100
against
on
any
the
man
stream. Let's
just
go.
because you're president.
That shit go hard in a bit.
100 people
No
watching. Let's
president's
go.
ever spoken like that before.
Thank y'all for
No
watching.
president in our history has spoken like that before. Number three, the crimes that you are still charged with, and think of all the civil penalties.
Why-
How many
this is-
billions
this
of
isn't a
dollars do you
debate
owe in civil
topic.
penalties for molesting a woman in public, for doing a whole range of things, of having sex with a porn star on the night while your wife
That
was
wasn't the
pregnant?
crime.
I mean,
What?
What are you talking about?
You just talking. Come
you're
on,
the morals
man.
analogy.
Stop it. Stop
Minute,
it.
sir.
I didn't have sex with a porn star, number one. Number
Yes,
two,
you did.
that was a case that was started and moved. They moved a high-ranking official, a DOJ, into the Manhattan DA's office to start that case.
Uh-oh.
That case is going to be appealed and won.
Uh-oh.
We had a very terrible judge, a horrible judge, Democrat. The prosecutor were all high-ranking Democrats, appointed people, and both the civil and the criminal. He basically went after his political opponent because he thought it was going to damage me. But when the public found out about these cases, because they understand it better than he does, he has no idea what these cases are. But when they found out about these cases, you know what they did?
Look at my face.
My poll numbers went up, way up. You know that because you're
Yep.
reporting it. And we took in more money in the last 2 weeks than we've ever taken in the history of any campaign. I don't think any campaign has ever taken. Hundreds of millions of dollars came pouring in because the public knows it's a scam and it's a guy that's after his political opponent because he can't win fair and square.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden, you have said, quote, Donald
Motherfucker
Trump
making me
and his
smoke.
MAGA Republicans
oops.
are determined to destroy
was in
American
that
democracy.
Yeah,
Do
your
you
bad.
believe that the tens of millions of Americans who are likely
I was
to
trying
vote
to see
for
if it was a
President
way I
Trump
could switch
will be
the
voting
screens around.
against American democracy?
The more they know about what he's done, yes, the more they know about what he's done. And there's a lot more coming. He's got a lot of cases down the road coming around. He's got a whole range of.
Wait,
issues
did he
has to
just
face.
say he's got a
I
lot
don't
of
know what the
cases?
jury
Is
will
that a
do.
prediction,
But I do
Biden,
know
or are you
he
trying to
has
say
no problem.
something?
He
And
knows something
the
y'all
fact
don't
that-
know.
Could you ever think you heard any president say that I'm
Head
going to
ass.
seek retribution? Ever hear any president
He's
say
got a
that
lot of
because
cases
that's a
coming.
good
More
idea?
cases
What got me
coming.
involved to run the first place after
Is
my
that what
son
y'all
died
having
and
those
decided
meetings
to
about
Iraq
at the White
because of
House?
Iraq. I said I was going to run again.
Because we know the
So
White
I
House
saw it
met
happen
with
in
Fannie
Charlottesville,
Willis.
Virginia.
We found
People
that
coming
out.
out of the woods carrying
Oh.
swastikas on torches.
Just
torches,
saying.
And singing the same anti-Semitic bile they sang when back in Germany. And the young woman got killed. I spoke to the mother, and they asked him. They
Trump
said,
ready to say some
what
shit.
do you think of those people? The ones who got killed, the one who tried to stop it, and the ones he said, I think they're fine people on both sides. What American president would ever say, Nazis coming out of fields, carrying torches, singing the same anti-Semitic bile, carrying swastikas, were fine people? This is the guy who says
They were
Hitler's
carrying
done some
tiki
good things.
torches, and
Like to know
that's
what they
already
are.
been debunked.
Good
What are
things
we
Hitler's done,
talking
that's what
about
he
right
said.
now?
This guy has no sense of American democracy.
What are we talking about? Huh?
Jake, both of you know that story has been totally wiped out because when you see the sentence, it said 100%
What?
exoneration on that. So he just keeps it going. He says he ran because of Charlottesville. He didn't run because of Charlottesville.
I'll be
He ran
damned,
because it was
man.
his last chance. He's not
Come
equipped to
the
be president.
fuck on.
You know it, and I know it. It's ridiculous. We have a debate. We're trying to justify his presidency.
Bro, I'm ready to
His
hang up in your
presidency
face right
is-
now.
Without question, the worst president, the worst presidency in the history of our
Another
country.
poll just
We
came
shouldn't be
out from the
having a
king of
debate about it.
polls. The
There's
Trump
nothing to
trials
debate.
were
He
fair.
made up the Charlottesville
71%
story.
said
And
no.
you'll see it's debunked all
These
over
are
the
people
place.
voting for these.
Every
57
anchor has
people
every
voted so
reasonable
far.
anchor has debunked it.
And it's a week
And
to
just
vote
the other
on
day
King
it
of
came out where
Polls
it was
on
fully
X.
debunked.
Let's go.
It's a nonsense story. He knows that, and he didn't run because of Charlottesville. He used that as an excuse to run.
President Biden?
And debunked. It happened. All you have to do is listen to what was said at the time. And the idea that somehow that's the only reason I ran.
Biden,
I ran
you
because
got to
I was
stop,
worried a
man.
guy
You
like
got
this
you
guy
can't
could
die
elect.
on this hill.
He
It was
thought
already
there were
debunked. You
good
can't
people
die
coming
on
out
it.
of that
Don't do
forest,
that.
Carrying those woods, carrying those torches, then he didn't deserve to be president. Didn't deserve to be president at all. And the idea that he's talking about all this
Biden
being
got them straight ass
fabricated,
teeth, though.
we saw with our own eyes. We saw what happened on January 6th. We saw the people breaking through the windows. We saw people occupying his own vice president. Look, there's a reason why 40 of his 44 top cabinet officers refused to endorse him this time. His vice president hasn't endorsed him this time. So why? Why? They know him well. They serve with him. Why are they not endorsing him?
Thank you, President Biden. We're going to be right back with more from the
I want to hear
CNN
Trump respond to that
presidential
shit.
debate.
I want to hear
Taking
Trump
pictures as we
respond
go.
to what the fuck
104.
Joe. No. I want to hear Trump respond to what the fuck Joe just said.
HCM is a serious heart condition affecting as
She ain't
many
got no
as
ass.
1 in 200
And I don't
people.
appreciate her, them putting her on a commercial like that.
Like me.
And me. It can impact how
And
you
that
feel,
motherfucking
what you
forehead
can do.
I
look
still
like an
felt tired
expedition
on my
windshield.
beta blocker.
I know.
So I talked to my cardiologist.
You know, I would like to
About
tell
treatment
people at this
advances in
time while this
HCM that
commercial's
gave me
on,
new options.
you
was a
guys
breakthrough
have
for
got
me.
to
That
go
conversation
check out
was big
Twon's
for me.
website,
Talk to your cardiologist today and visit
needleandthreads.com.
HCMrealtalk.com
And let me
for more
correct
information.
myself because I fucked it up because we're doing this live shit. Now it got the commercial
Hi there.
blasting in my
I'm
ear.
an ad.
It's
Yeah.
Ever
Needle and
notice how some
Threads
ads
Co.
just speak to you? Choose Viant's AI-driven tools to plan, execute, and measure your connected TV campaigns on premium inventory. Choose wisely.
You got to go
Choose
check it out.
Viant.
Promo
Tonight, in
code
your spacious
Chronicles for
La Quinta suite,
15%
your eyes
off.
could use
Is
a
that right,
break.
Dwan?
After a long day
Yes,
of
sir.
seeing,
You got to go check
code
out the
is
new
active.
stuff, man. You got to check out the Can't Complain. You got to check out the
But
It's
hey,
Not a
free
Dad
waffles
bod, it's a
always make
father
you forget.
figure.
Cap's
So
going
much
up.
good
Cap's
stuff.
going up on the
Work as hard
website
as you
tomorrow.
so that
His
tonight
hat, Needle
you
and
can be
Threads, the
agent
hat he's
of
wearing right now,
destruction.
going up on
We
the
get it. You've
website
been building
tomorrow.
connections
It'll be like
Needle and
8
Threads
caps on
Co.
the website tomorrow. Be 8 new hats on the
Tonight,
website.
La Quinta.
That's
Tomorrow, you shine.
needleandthreadsco.com. Chronicles,
how many different kinds of
promo code
snowflakes there are? But I only see 34
CHRONICLEZ. Get 15% off your gear, man.
If that's
You're
Okay,
enjoying
shit.
the debate. Order something for yourself. Order something for your girl.
It's a little overkill.
Order something for your boyfriend. Whoever.
I do custom orders too for big groups. You going on a cruise, you got a birthday or wedding, you got any of that shit coming up,
Premiere
I
Saturday
got
night
you.
at 8, 7 Central. Only on
Got you. I got family reunions. I done a couple of those already. So I got you.
There you go. There you go.
Right now, get America's
He does
most trusted
custom
paint brand
orders,
at
so
an
y'all
everyday
know
low
what it
price.
is, man. While we got
Starting at $29.98.
107
Cybersecurity
watching.
audit is on the horizon.
Y'all
Courtesy of my
107 people, go
StreamYard.
check out needleandthreadsco.com.
Needleandthreadsco.com.
Are you even getting anywhere?
For all of you in shape
Lost
dads out
the
there, hey,
GRC?
show them the dad bod shirt.
Vanta helps you chart a course to continuous
I don't wanna
compliance
leave
by
the
monitoring
screen.
all
Let
the
me see.
systems
Let
your
me-
business relies
let me
on
see if
to
I can
ensure
get some
compliance with
dad bod.
No,
ISO
don't worry. You gotta leave the screen, don't worry about
and
it.
even
Yeah,
frameworks
yeah.
you
Tell
can
don't
them
wanna
to go
fuck
check
it
it out.
So
Tell
audit
them to go
prep
check. I
becomes
thought you had it
a
on.
breeze. Automate compliance and
Needle
prove
and
trust.
Threads
I
Co.
thought you was wearing it.
Vanta.com.
Oh, I got on
It's
the
so
only
easy
dad.
to get
Yeah,
your
that's what I'm talking about. Show them the only dad shirt.
people why you haven't done it already, my man. It started off as a chip and grew
Only
into a
dad.
crack, and it
That's
just
the
keeps
dad
going.
bod.
So
You
what
dig?
do we do
Only
now?
dads.
I went ahead
You
and
dig? Yes, sir.
scheduled an appointment online at
Those dads tired of
safelight.com.
doing goddamn
Come meet us here
sit-ups.
at the beach.
Let's get started.
Absolutely, man.
I wore that shit and I got half it on the mind though.
Yeah.
Safe Flight Replays.
Hey, you said you wear a double X, right?
At safelight.com.
Well, I fuck with a triple, you know.
God damn, triple. Okay, fuck it. I gotta send you a box.
Did you know that people everywhere are recommending
Triple
GoodRx?
My doctor told me about GoodRx to help
How
us
tall
save
are
money
you?
on our meds.
And my daughter told
Like 6'1".
Oh, I muted that audio. How tall am I? 5'11".
Yeah.
Well, 6 foot. 6 foot.
Hey, so you ain't 6 foot, but you almost 6 foot, huh?
Can you hear the commercial still?
No, it's muted.
It's muted.
Yeah, it's muted.
Okay, good. I can
Hold on,
hear it
so-
still in my ear, so I'm just
So you
asking.
so you
everybody
ain't
to-
6 foot. You 5. You almost 6 foot, huh?
Well, last time I measured, I was 6 foot. Last
Damn,
time they
nigga.
took my height and all that.
Because here's the thing, I'm more than 5'11", but I ain't 6 foot yet. Like I got a chance
Certainly
to get
face
there.
again in a
There we
second
go.
term.
You got the
President
audio back,
Biden,
right?
While
Yep.
black unemployment dropped to a record low under your presidency, black families still earn far less than white families. Black mothers are still 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes, and black Americans
Let me
are
get
in
a picture
prison
of this
at
108.
5 times the rate of white
That shit
Americans.
go hard. Hey man, we
What do you
appreciate
say to
y'all
black
for real.
voters who are disappointed that you
For
haven't
whatever
made
reason
more
y'all
progress?
come in here to check us out, we
You
appreciate
acknowledge you
it.
made a lot of progress, number one. The fact of the matter is there's more small black businesses that have been started than any time in history. Number two, the wages of black unemployment is the lowest level it's been in a long, long time. Number three, we're trying to provide housing for black Americans.
What?
And dealing with the segregation that exists among these corporations.
Come on, man.
Keep people out.
Hey, be
Spit it
patient.
out, man.
Be patient.
In addition to that, we find that the
patient.
impact on the choice that black families have to make relative to childcare is incredibly difficult. When we did the first major piece of legislation in the past, I was able to reduce black childcare costs.
You were.
Cut them in half. We got to make sure we provide for childcare costs.
Really?
We got to make sure.
That's what he
because
said,
when
Twon. He just
provide
said that to you.
childcare
I had to look at my
protection,
speaker and see that shit.
increase
That's what he just
economic
said to
growth
you.
because more
'Cause
people
I
come
was
on
paying
the
child care.
job market. So there's more to be done.
didn't
And I'm
notice
black.
the
There's
difference.
more to be done.
I'm black than motherfucker,
We've
dog.
done a great deal so far, and
I say nigga a lot.
know it.
You have 49 seconds left. What
Say
do you
something
say
that's
to
gonna
black
fix that shit.
Voters who are disappointed with the progress so far.
I say I don't blame them for being disappointed. Inflation is still hurting them badly. For example, I provided for the idea that any black family, first-time home buyer, should get a $10,000 tax credit to be able to buy their first home so they can get started. I made sure that we're in a situation where all those black families and those black individuals who provided.
Boy, these white people losing their mind right now.
That were ballooning.
Yeah.
That if they were engaged in nursing.
Oh, Lord.
And anything having to do with volunteerism.
Not the eyes
They paid their
closed while
bills for
the
10 years.
stuttering's going on.
Shut the fuck up, man.
Given after 10 years.
My president is talking.
And we're going to do a whole lot more.
My president is, God damn it, he's
And he
still
caused
speaking.
the inflation. He's strangling inflation. And he's right, it's been very bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
He caused the inflation, and it's killing black families
Oh,
and Hispanic
shit.
families and just about everybody. It's killing people. They can't buy groceries anymore. They can't. You look at the cost of food where it's doubled and tripled and quadrupled. They can't live. They're not living anymore. He caused this inflation. I gave him a country with essentially no inflation. It was perfect. It was so good. All he had to do is leave it alone. He destroyed it with his Green New Scam and all of the other, all this
New
money that's been
Scam.
thrown out the window. He caused inflation. As sure as you're sitting there.
Yeah, California got to go electric by what was the year?
I
Was it
seen
10
that
years?
2025 or
is the millions
2026.
of people
No,
that he's
it's
allowed to
like
come in
10
through the
years
border.
from
They're
now.
taking
Oh,
black
it was
jobs
30.
from
It was 35
I think
then.
it's
Might
18,
have been 35.
could be
I know it ended
19,
with a
and even
5.
20
I was
No,
like,
don't
damn.
judge me.
They're
We're
taking
not
black
fact checking
jobs,
that during
and
the
they're taking
debate, but it's
Hispanic
somewhere
jobs,
around
and you
there.
haven't seen
Yeah,
it
that shit
yet,
crazy.
But you're going to see something that's going to be the worst in our history.
Thank you.
It's
President
far
Biden.
enough for it to be time
There
to
was
change
no
that shit.
inflation when I became president. You know why? The economy was flat on its back.
Tell them then,
50%
goddammit.
unemployment. He decimated the economy. Absolutely decimated the economy. That's
Tell them
why
why the
there was no
groceries
inflation
cost so much.
at the time. There were no jobs. We provided thousands of millions of jobs for individuals who are in all communities, including minority communities. We made sure that they have health insurance. We have covered, if the ACA has increased, I made sure that they're $8,000
I don't like the
per
way he ain't
person in
finishing
the
the
family
sentence.
to get written off for health care. But this guy wants to eliminate that. They tried 50 times. He wants to get rid of the ACA again, and they're going to try again if they win. We find ourselves in a position where the idea that we're not doing any, we put more
109
police on
more
the street
receipts.
than any administration has. He wants to cut the cops. We're providing.
Hey,
for
man, most of them are probably women
equity,
coming to see
making
me.
Sure people have a
You
shot.
think they're coming to see you?
There's
No,
a lot
they not.
going on.
Not at
And
all.
Inflation.
I just wanted to
It
say
could
that.
be, you know.
Tremendous
Needle and threads
now
go, baby.
peasants.
They got that Simply Thick outfit, huh?
Thank you.
Y'all got the Simply Thick outfit. I need to see you in it.
Crisis.
Huh.
2023 was the hottest year in recorded history, and communities across the country are confronting the devastating effects of extreme heat, intensifying wildfires, stronger hurricanes, and rising sea levels. Former President Trump, you've vowed to end your opponent's
What the fuck the
climate
president supposed to do
initiatives,
about the
but
extreme
will
heat?
you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
Well, let me just go back to what he said about
Uh-oh.
the police.
What the fuck she
Close
asked
the
you?
police are to him. Almost every police group.
Somebody
in the nation,
said
from
Biden has
every
looked
state
like this entire
supporting
debate and got a picture
Donald
of
J.
Lisa
Trump.
Simpson.
Almost
Look,
every
look.
police group. And what he's done to the black population is horrible, including the fact that for 10 years he called them super predators. We can't,
That's perfect,
we
bro.
can't forget that. Super
Lisa
predators was his
Simpson,
name.
man,
And he called
off
it to
the
them.
Wait a
They're
minute. Let me
taking
pull up
great
my
offense
clip.
at it, and now they
Hey,
see
send
it
me that
happening.
picture.
But when
Yeah,
they
I'ma
see what
send
I
it to
did
you
for
right
criminal
now.
justice reform,
All right, cool.
and
I'm
for
gonna
the
catch it in a minute.
historically
Watch.
black colleges and universities, where I funded them and got them all funded, and the opportunity zones with
All right, I got it.
with Tim, as you know, Tim Scott was incredible. He did a great job. Great senator from South Carolina. He came to me with the idea, and it was a great idea. It's one of the most successful economic development acts ever in the country, opportunity zones. And the biggest beneficiary are blacks. And that's why we have the best numbers with them in maybe ever. They're saying ever. I read this morning where ever, the best numbers. He's lost much of the black population because he's done a horrible job for black people. He's also done a horrible job for Hispanics. But wait till you see these millions of people pouring into our country, and they're going to take the jobs, and it's already started, and you haven't seen anything yet. It's a disaster.
You 38 seconds left. President Trump, will you take any action as president to slow the climate crisis?
So I want absolutely immaculate clean water, and I want absolutely clean air, and we had it. We had H2O. We had the best numbers
You know what I'd have
ever.
said? You know what I'd have been
And we
gangster
did-
and said?
We were
What?
using all forms of energy.
I'd have said,
all
we ain't
forms,
got time to
everything.
worry about
And
that
yet,
shit. We
during
got to
my
worry
4
about getting
years,
food
I had
costs
the
and
best
gasoline down.
environmental
Then
numbers
we'll table
ever.
that for
And
after
my
we
top
get the
environmental
economy
Hey,
back.
how much
going.
is gas? How much is gas in
I
Alaska?
walked on the stage. I
Right now it's down a little bit. Right now it's like
The idea
370 something, I think.
I've
It's
passed
down?
the most extensive,
Yeah.
most
The
extensive
highest it's
climate
been, it was
change
like
legislation
450
in
at one
history.
point.
In history.
In
We
Anchorage,
find
yeah.
ourselves, and by the way,
I'm tripping right
Black
now because we at
colleges.
like 315.
I've
I'm
came up with
losing my
$50 billion
fucking mind. Like, what the hell
HBCUs,
going on
historic
here?
Black universities and colleges.
Oh, that shit's gonna bounce
because they
back
don't
up.
have the kind of contributors that they have.
I'm ready to ride my
to these
bicycle to work.
laboratories and the like. Any
nigga
black
said he's
student is
ready to ride
capable
his
in college of
bicycle
doing
to
any
work.
white student can
Get
do.
that Huffy to
They
going,
just have the money
goddammit.
and now to be able to get those jobs in high tech. We're in a situation where the idea that he is claiming to have done something that had the
Hey,
cleanest
whoa, whoa, whoa,
water,
whoa, 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 whoa.
cleanest
Don't be
water,
disrespecting
ain't
him.
done a damn thing for the environment.
Damn right, not a
Now, the
damn
Paris
thing.
Climate Accord. I immediately joined it.
What did he say?
Because if we reach 1.5 degrees Celsius at any one point, where there's no way back. The only
What?
existential threat to humanity is climate change. And he didn't do a damn thing about it. He must undo all that I've done.
The Paris Accord was going to cost us $1 trillion, and China nothing, and Russia nothing, and India nothing. It was a ripoff of the United States. And I ended it because I didn't want to waste that money because they treat us horribly. We were the only ones
Just
who was
like we're
costing us
wasting
money.
Ukraine
Nobody
money,
else was
huh?
paying into it.
Boy.
And it was a disaster. But everything that he said just now, I'll give you an example. I heard him say before insulin. I'm the one that got the insulin down for the seniors. I took care of the seniors. What he's doing is destroying all of our medical programs because the migrants coming in, they want everybody. And look, I have the biggest heart on the stage. I guarantee you that. And I want to take care of people. But we're destroying our country. They're taking over our schools, our hospitals, and they're going to be taking over Social Security. He is destroying Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
The idea is that we, in fact, we were the only ones of consequence. We're not,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey,
we're
man.
not members of the Paris Accord. How can we do
Oh,
anything
you lucky we ain't
that
still in the
United
military. I would have locked
States
your
can
ass
do?
up right now.
One of the largest polluters in the world.
Fucking, you
Number
better
one.
salute your
We're making
commander-in-chief.
significant progress.
Sounded like a
By
goddamn
2030,
hound
You digging in his nose
dog.
with a thumb?
percent and a half. We have made significant progress. and we're continuing to make progress. We set up a climate corps where thousands of young people will learn how to deal with climate, just like the Peace Corps. And we're moving in directions that are going to significantly change the elements of cause of pollution. But the idea...
Yep, Trump hair definitely looked like cotton candy when it's first being put on the stick.
He's hard up here, and he's really concerned about pollution and about climate. I've not seen any indication of that. And by the way...
That shit look like AI sitting on top of his head.
Prescription drugs, one company agreed that they would reduce the price to $35, which I was calling for. One voluntarily.
Or something in this
I made sure every company.
Yeah, man, I had my garage door up earlier, and a few of them came up in here.
Did not have to pay. And by the way.
So every day,
by the way,
yeah, they shut his ass.
Just to make
yeah.
By the way, many older Americans, Social Security provides a critical lifeline. President Biden, if nothing is done to Social Security, seniors will see their benefits cut in just over 10 years. Will you name tonight one specific step that you're willing to take to keep Social Security solvent?
Yes, make the very wealthy begin to pay their fair share. Right now, everybody making under $170,000 pays 6% of their income, of their paycheck, every single time they get a paycheck from the time of the first one they get when they're 18 years old. The idea that they're going to, I've been proposing that everybody, they pay, millionaires pay 1%. 1%. So no one I would not raise the cost of Social Security for anybody over $400,000. After that, I began to make the wealthy begin to pay their fair share.
Hey man, I'm trying to hold my breath and listen to this motherfucker, man.
Guarantee the program for life.
So you still have 82 seconds.
Because I heard me breathing louder than him talking.
Do you think that would be able to help keep Social Security solvent, or is that one enough?
Well, no, that one enough will keep it solvent. But the biggest thing I'll do if we defeat this man, because he wants to get rid of Social Security. He thinks there's plenty to cut in Social Security. He's wanting to cut Social Security and Medicare, both times. And that's what. And if you look at the program put forward by the House Republican caucus that I believe supports, is in fact want to cut it as well.
I feel like Biden's trying to tell me a secret when I'm listening to him talk.
It's ridiculous. And by the way, the American public has free health care coverage.
Like he's trying to tell me something he only wants me to know, Twon.
You're in a circumstance where 400,000
It's between
people,
me and him. It's personal, you know?
Even though he's talking to America, it's between y'all.
He's talking to America. He's just talking to me.
To have that insurance is the fact that they, in fact, are part of the ACA. And by the way, the other thing is, we're in a situation where I talk about education for black communities. I've raised the amount of money for Pell Grants, another $8,000.
He did it.
Making under $70,000 a year are going to be able to get.
Nigga, stop patronizing us. Nigga, some of us
he just
actually went to school.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump.
So I've dealt with politicians all my life. I've been on this side of the equation for the last 8 years.
Talk to these niggas.
I've never seen anybody lie like this guy. He lies. I've never seen it. He can look you in the face. About so many other things too. And we mentioned the laptop. We mentioned Russia, Ukraine. Everything he does
Triple
is a
down
lie.
on it. Say it three times.
Misinformation and disinformation. The losers and suckers story that he made up is a total lie on the military. It's a disgrace. But Social Security, he's destroying it because millions of people are pouring into our country, and they're putting them onto Social Security. They're putting them onto Medicare, Medicaid. They're putting them in our hospitals. They're taking the place of our citizens. What they're doing to the VA, to our veterans, is unbelievable. Our veterans are living in the street, and these people are living in luxury hotels.
That's facts.
He doesn't know what he's doing, and it's really coming back. I've never seen such anger in our country before.
That's the third time he done brought that up too, man.
The idea that veterans are not being taken care of. I told you before.
Bitch, we ain't.
Suckers and losers, he said.
Yeah.
He acknowledged after that he
needs to steer away
general.
from that one.
That general
he needed to divert.
Because he's the one that acknowledged that that's what he said. He was the one standing with Trump when he said,
nigga, turn left,
number one.
fall
Number
down
two,
or something.
The idea that
he's
we're
got
going
to
to be
stay
in a
away from
situation where
Nigga, plead the fifth.
That one's not helping him.
Millions and millions, the way he talks about it, illegal aliens are coming into the country and taking away our jobs. There's a reason why we have the fastest growing economy in the world. The reason why we have the most successful economy in the world. We're doing better than any other nation in the world. And by the way, those 15 Nobel laureates he talked about being phony, those 15 Nobel laureates, economists, they all said that if Trump is reelected, we're likely to have a recession and inflation is going to increasingly go up. And by the way, worst president in history, 159 presidential scholars voted him the worst president in the history of the United States.
The motherfucking
President
scholar
Biden,
said
thank you
it.
so much. Let's turn to the cost
Anybody
of
comment on
living.
your side,
Many
Twon?
American families struggle to afford.
Any comments on
President
your
Trump,
side?
both you and President
Oh
Biden
yeah,
have tried to
fucking
address this
what's
issue.
his name? Robert
But
Ray.
the average
He
cost
been
of
talking
child
shit
care
and
in
I
this
don't appreciate
country has
it.
risen to more than
started to
$11,000
block
a year per child. For many families, the cost of child care for 2 children is more than their rent. In your second term, what would you do to make child care more affordable?
Just to go back, the general got fired because he was no good. And if he said that, that's why he made it up. But we have 19 people that said I didn't say it, and they're very highly respected, much more so than him.
Uh-oh.
The other thing is, he doesn't fire
Tell me
people.
another secret, Joe.
He never fired people. I've never seen him fire anybody. I did fire a lot. I fired Comey because he was no good. I fired a lot of the top people
That's
at
facts.
the FBI, drained the swamp. They were no good. Not easy to fire people. You'd pay a price for it, but they were no good. I inherited these people. I didn't put them there. I didn't put Comey
120.
there. He was no good. I fired him.
Damn, we climbing
This guy hasn't
like a
fired anybody.
motherfucker.
He never fires. He should have fired every military man that was involved with that Afghan.
I like receipts. I keep
Afghanistan,
taking pictures because I like to
horror
have
show.
receipts.
The most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. He didn't fire. Did you fire anybody? Did you fire anybody that's on the border that's allowed us to have the worst border in the history of the world? Did anybody get fired for allowing 18 million people, many from prisons, many from mental institutions? Did you fire anybody that allowed our country to be destroyed? Joe, our country is being destroyed as you and I sit up here and waste a lot of time on this debate. This shouldn't be a debate. He is the worst president. He just said about me because I said it. But look, he's
Look
the
at Joe's
worst president
face.
in the history of our country.
Yeah, I got the
He's
same-
destroyed our country.
I got the
Now
same
all of a
face as
sudden
Joe.
He's trying to get a little tough on the border. He came out with a nothing.
I'm just gonna promote
a
this
nothing
shirt
deal.
'cause
And it
he
reduced
cooked
it a
it
little
right
bit,
there.
a little bit, like this much. It's insignificant. He wants open borders. He wants our country to either be destroyed or he wants
We're
to pick up
wasting
those
time
people
up
as
here.
voters. And I don't think we just can't let it happen. If he wins this election, our country doesn't have a chance, not even a chance, of coming out of this rut. We probably won't have a country left anymore. That's how bad it is. He is the worst in history by far.
Thank you, President Trump. President Biden?
We're the most admired country in the world. We're the United States of America. There's nothing beyond our capacity. We're the finest military in the history of the world. The finest in the history of the world. No one thinks we're weak. No one wants to screw around with us. Nobody. Number one. Number two, the idea that we're talking about worst presidents.
Where's
I wasn't
Pentagon
joking.
Frank at
Look
so
it
we
up.
can
Oh,
talk about
get him the fuck on
world.
there, bro. I got family, bro. I got family in other countries saying we're being made fun of right
We're
now.
being made fun of
Who's the
in
worst
other countries.
president in
Stop
American
it.
history.
Not in
Not
other
just the
countries,
worst.
by
He was
other
the
countries,
worst in
nigga.
all of
Yep.
American history. That's a fact. That's not conjecture.
He capping
He can
right
argue
now.
they're wrong, but that's what they voted. The idea that he is doing anything to deal with child care, he did for virtually nothing to child care. We should
Well, I'm
significantly
looking at
increase
Trump.
the child care tax credit.
That's an ugly
We should
motherfucker,
significantly
bro.
increase the availability of women and
Trump
men,
funny looking
of
as shit.
single parents.
I
to be
mean,
able to
both
go
of
back
them
to
are
work.
funny looking.
And
I
we
don't
should
know.
encourage
Biden is already
businesses to
established.
hold
We ain't got to say
and
that.
Thank
We
you,
already
President
know.
Biden. President Trump, the question was about.
At least this Biden ain't got a mask on, nigga.
Boy,
Just so you
things
understand.
ain't melting off.
We have Poland.
Yeah.
We have other things that they rate him the worst because what he's done is so bad. And they rate me, I'll show you, I will show you. And they rate me one of the best, okay? And if I'm given another 4 years, I will be the best. I think I'll be the best. Nobody's ever created an economy like us. Nobody ever cut taxes like us. He's the only one I know. He wants to raise your taxes by 4 times. He wants to raise everybody's taxes by 4 times. He wants the Trump tax cuts to expire. So everybody, including the two of you, are going to pay 4 to 5 times. Nobody ever heard of this before. All my life, I'd grow up and I'd see politicians talking about cutting taxes. When we cut taxes, as I said, we did more business. Apple and all these companies, they were bringing money back into our country. The worst president in history by far, and everybody knows it.
President Biden?
Look, the fact of the matter is that he's dead wrong about. He's increased the tariff. He will increase the taxes on middle-class people. I said I'd never raise a tax on anybody making less than $400,000. I didn't. But this tariff is 10% tariffs. Everything coming into the country, you know what the economists say? That's going to cost the average American $2,500 a year more because they're going to have to pay the difference in food, and all the things that are very important. Number two,
What else?
he's in a situation where he talks about how he has not raised, he somehow helped the middle class. The middle class have been devastated by you. Now you want a new tax cut of $5 trillion over the next 10 years, which is going to fundamentally bankrupt the country. You had the largest deficit of any president in American history, number one. Number two, you have not, in fact, made any contact, any progress with China. We are the lowest trade deficit with China since 2010.
Thank you, President Biden. Thank you, President
Biden.
Biden. Let's discuss an epidemic impacting millions of Americans.
I don't appreciate that
Both
shit.
of you have made a top
That
priority.
motherfucker has something else to say.
The opioid crisis.
He can't help
For
it that he
both of
talks
you,
slow.
The number of overdose deaths in this country has gone up. Under your term, it went up. Under your term, it has gone up. Former President Trump, despite the efforts that both of you have made, more than 100,000 Americans are dying from overdoses every year, primarily from fentanyl and other opioids. What will you do to help Americans right now in the throes of addiction who are struggling to get the treatment they need?
To finish up, we now have the largest deficit in the history of our country under this guy.
The thing I do
We have
like
the
is
largest
that he's
deficit with
doubling
China.
back before he
gets
gives
paid
another
by China.
answer.
He's
I
a
do
big
like
Yeah, he
China
is.
He gets money from
He
China.
using his minute wisely.
So I
Somebody
think he's
trained
afraid
him.
to deal with them or something. But do you notice he never took out my tariffs because we bring in so much money with the tariffs that I imposed on China. He never took them away. He can't because it's too much money. It's tremendous. And we saved our steel industries, and there was more to come, but he hasn't done that. But he hasn't cut the tariffs because he can't, because it's too much money. But he's got the largest deficit in the history of our country, and he's got the worst situation with China. China's going to own us if you keep allowing them to do what they're doing to us as a country. They are killing us as a country, Joe, and you
Turn
can't
our
let
ass
that
up.
happen. You're destroying our country.
buying land, all kind of
President
shit.
Trump, you have 67 seconds left.
Land
The
near
question was,
military
what are you gonna do
bases.
to help
Creeping in through
Americans
Mexico.
the throes of addiction
Land
right
through
now who are
military
struggling to
bases
get the
or
treatment
close
they
to
need?
military
Jake, we're doing
bases.
very well at addiction until the COVID came along. We had the 2.5, almost 3 years of like nobody's ever had before, any country, in every way. And then we had to get tough, and it was the drugs
then we had to
pouring
get tough
across
on
the
that
border were it started to increase. We got great equipment. We bought the certain dog that's the most incredible thing that you've ever seen, the way they can spot it. We did a lot, and we were getting very low numbers, very, very low numbers. Then he came along. The numbers, have you seen the numbers now? It's not only the 18 million people that I believe is even low, because the gotaways, they don't even talk about gotaways.
Yeah, they don't know how many
But
people.
the numbers of the amount of drugs and human trafficking in women coming across our border, the worst thing I've ever seen, at numbers that nobody's
Human
ever
trafficking
seen
shit
under here
bad, bro.
because the border's
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah, it is.
But the number of drugs coming across our border
Honcho
now
know.
is the largest we've ever had by far.
President Trump,
Honcho.
thank you. President Biden?
Fentanyl.
It's Honcho,
and
right?
bipartisan Fentanyl went
Yeah.
down.
Yeah,
a
Honcho
lot.
know.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure we use the machinery that can detect fentanyl. These big machines that roll over everything that comes across the border. And it costs a lot of money. That was part of this deal we put together. This
Is it?
bipartisan deal. More fentanyl machines, more be able to detect drugs, more numbers of agents, more numbers of all the people at the border. And when we had that deal done, he called his Republican colleagues, said, "Don't do it. It's going to hurt me politically." No, he never argued it's
Man,
not a good bill.
his voice
It's a
got
really
up and
good
left,
bill.
man.
We need
Bro,
those
that shit
machines.
aggravating as fuck right
we
now.
Need those machines.
I feel like
And we're coming down very
this
hard
whole
in every
debate,
country
Biden's been
in
playing
Asia in terms of
telephone with me.
precursors for fentanyl. And Mexico is working with us to make
The
sure
worst
we
game
have
of
the technology
telephone
to be able to
ever.
Put it together. That's what we have to do.
Talking
We
through the
need
strings
those
and shit.
machines.
With the
Thank
cup.
you, President Biden. President Trump, and
going
again,
to
the
talk?
question is about Americans in the throes of addiction right now, struggling to get the treatment they need.
Well, because this does pertain to it. He ended Remain in Mexico. He ended catch and release. I made it catch and release in Mexico, not catch and release here. We had so many things that we had done, hard negotiations with Mexico, and I got it all for nothing. It's just like when you have a hostage. We always pay $6 billion for a hostage. Every time we say it's a hostage. Now we have a hostage, a Wall Street Journal reporter, I think a good guy, and he's over there because Putin is laughing at this guy, probably asking for billions of dollars for the reporter. I will have him out very quickly as soon as I take office. Before I take office, I said by literally as soon as I win the election, I will have that reporter out. He should have had him out a long time ago.
Biden will lie.
But Putin's probably
That
asking
sentence
for
he just
billions
said
and
sound real
billions of dollars
Bidenish.
because this guy pays it every time. We had 2 cases.
Motherfucker
we
said a
paid
whole
$6
lot of shit. The
billion
same
for
sentence
5
that wasn't
people.
shit.
I got 58 people out, and I paid essentially nothing.
Thank you, President Trump. Dana?
Let's turn to concerns that
I mean, he
voters
finished
have
off with a good
about
ending.
each of you.
But he was saying a lot of
President Biden,
nothing.
You would be 86 at the end of your second term.
We talking about
How do
age
you
now.
address concerns about your capability to handle the toughest job in the world well into your 80s?
Well, first of all, I spent half my career being criticized as being the youngest person in politics. I was the second youngest person
That's not gonna
ever
work right
elected
now.
to the United States Senate.
It's not
now I'm
working
the
right now.
oldest. This guy's 3 years younger and a lot less competent. I think that just look at the record. Look at what I've done. Look how I've turned around the horrible situation he left me. As I said, 15 million new jobs, 800,000 manufacturing jobs, more investment in America, over billions of dollars in private investment in enterprises that we are growing. By the way, we brought an awful lot of people.
Man, get to the
whole
fucking
idea
point.
of computer chips. We used to have 40% of the market. We invented those chips, and we lost it because he was sending people to find the cheapest jobs overseas and to bring home a product. So I went to South Korea. I convinced Samsung.
Sound like somebody dying in a movie and
in the
shit.
United States. And guess what? Those fabs they call them, to build these chips, those fabs pay over $100,000.
How does
Don't need a
Biden
college
address
degree for
concerns
it.
about
And there's
capability to serve as
billions,
president well into his
$40 billion
80s?
already being invested and being built right now in the United States, creating significant
Let's see what
jobs
the CNN
for
poll is
Americans
saying.
from all over the world.
They have a poll.
President Biden, you have 40 seconds left. Would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I would. The idea that somehow we are this failing country. I never heard a president talk like this before. We're the envy of the world. Name me a single major country president who wouldn't trade places with the United States of America. All our problems and all our opportunities. We're the most progressive country in the world in getting things done. We're the strongest country in the world. We're a country in the world who keeps our word, and everybody trusts us, all of our allies.
Bro, they teaming up against us.
Those who he coddles up to, from Kim Jong-un, he sends love letters to, and Putin, et cetera, they don't want to screw around with us.
Thank you. Former President Trump, to follow up, you would be 82 at the end of your second term. What do you say to voters who have concerns about your capabilities?
This motherfucker Trump, I wish we can
took
pause
2
it.
tests, cognitive tests. I aced them, both of them.
Why? What happened?
We made
Just
it
to
public.
say, like
took
he
none. I'd like to
doing
see him
active
take one,
shit.
just
Like this
one.
motherfucker
A
going to
real easy
UFC
one.
fights.
Like go through the
And
first 5
staying
questions. I couldn't
from
do it.
front to end.
But I took 2
That's what
cognitive
I'm
tests. I
saying.
took physical exams every year. And, we knock on wood wherever we may have wood, that I'm in very good health. I just won 2 club championships, not even senior, 2 regular club championships. To do that, you have to be quite smart, and you have to be able to hit the ball a long way.
Talk that
and I do
shit.
it. He doesn't do
Said
it.
I'm hitting
He
the
ain't
ball.
talking. He ain't talking shit right now.
You can't hit a ball
Said,
50
I'm
yards.
hitting balls and going
I
to
think I'm in very
UFC.
good
This
shape. I
guy's
feel
in
that
bed
I'm
by
as in good
7.
a shape as I was 25, 30 years ago. Actually, I'm probably a little bit lighter.
That means he's
but I'm in
responsible.
as good a shape as I was years ago. I feel very good. I feel the same. But I was willing to take a cognitive test. And you know what? If I didn't do well, I aced them. Dr. Ronnie Jackson, who's a great guy when he was White House doctor. And then I took another one, a similar one. And one of them said they've never seen anybody ace him.
Thank you. President Biden?
Shut your ass
You
up.
can see he is 6'5" and only 223 pounds. or
25
pounds.
220,000.
Don't worry about that.
200.
You know what the fuck he meant?
Anyway, just take a look at what he says he is, and take a look at what he is. Look, I'd be happy to have a driving contest with him.
Driving?
I got my handicap, which when I was vice president.
Driving
down to a
contest?
6.
He's driving
And,
golf
by the way,
balls. He's not
I
talking
told you
about
before,
driving a
I'm happy
car,
to go
Joe.
if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest lie. He's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8. But I had, how many?
I've seen you swing
Oh!
at
Let's
not
not
act
even
like
around.
children.
President Trump, we're going to
Let's not act like children.
Stop it. Biden
voters
just
have
trying to
about
come
you.
back and
Will
fumble
you
big
pledge
time,
tonight
man. Y'all know
that once
this,
all
man.
legal challenges
Y'all
have
know
been
this.
exhausted, that you
Come
will
on.
accept the results of this
Biden
election,
need to let me
regardless
write for
of
him.
who wins.
This is
And
bad.
You will say
He need
right
to let me
now
write
that
his
political
comebacks.
violence in
Like,
any
don't say
form
this in his
is
speech unless you need
unacceptable.
a comeback.
Well, I shouldn't
But
have to
Twon,
say
it's
that,
no
but of
point in
course I
having a
believe
ghost
that.
writer
It's totally
if he can't
unacceptable.
execute
And if you would see
saying
my
what you
statements that I
writing
made
for
on
him.
Twitter at the time, and also
Yeah.
my statement that I made in the Rose Garden, you would say
Yeah.
it's one of the strongest
Right.
statements you've ever seen. In addition to the speech I made in front of, I believe, the largest crowd I've ever spoken to, and I will tell you, nobody ever talks about that. They talk about a relatively small number of people that went to the Capitol, and in many cases were ushered in by the police. And as Nancy Pelosi said, it was her responsibility, not mine. She said that loud and clear. But the answer is, if the election is fair, free, and I want that more than anybody. And I'll tell you something. I wish he was a great president, because I wouldn't be here right now. I'd be at one of my many places enjoying myself. I wouldn't be under indictment because I wouldn't have been his political opponent, because he indicted me because I was his opponent. I wish he was a great president. I would rather have that. I wouldn't be here. I don't mind being here. But the only reason I'm here is he's so bad as a president that I'm going to make America great again. We're going to make
I'll be
America
damned. Boy,
great
that wasn't a
again.
hell of a fine
We're
speech.
a failing nation right now. We're a seriously failing nation. And we're a failing nation because of him. His policies are so bad. His military policies are insane. They're insane. These are wars that will never end with him. He will drive us into World War III, and we're closer to World War III than anybody can imagine. We are very, very close to World War III, and he's driving us there. And Kim Jong-un and President Xi of China, Kim Jong-un of North Korea, all of these, Putin, they don't respect him. They don't fear him. They have nothing going with this gentleman, and he's going to drive us into World War III.
You want a World War III, let him follow and win, and let Putin say, do what you want, NATO. Just do what you want. There's a thing called Article 5. An attack on one is attack on all.
What's going on here?
I can't think of a single major leader in the world who wouldn't trade places with the job I've done and what they've done.
What?
Because we're a powerful nation. We have wonderful people. It's because of the people, not me. It's because of the American people. They're capable of anything, and they step up when they're needed. And right now, we're needed. We're needed to protect the world because our own safety is at stake. And again, you want to have a war, just let Putin go ahead and take Kyiv, make sure they move on, see what happens in Poland, Hungary, and other places along that border. Then you have a war.
President Trump, as I come back to you for a follow-up, the question was, will you accept the results of this election, regardless of who wins?
Just to finish what he said, if I might.
Always.
Russia, they took a lot of land from Bush. They took a lot of land from Obama and Biden. They took no land, nothing from Trump, nothing. He knew not to do it. He's not going to play games with me. He knew that. I got along with him very well, but he knew not to play games. He took nothing from me. But now he's going to take the whole thing from this man right here. That's a war that should have never started. It would have never started ever with me. And he's going to take Ukraine. And, you know, you asked me a question before, would you do this with? He's got us in such a bad position right now with Ukraine and Russia. Because Ukraine's not winning that war.
Nope.
He said, I will never settle until
They
such time.
aren't.
They're running out of people. They're running out of soldiers. They've lost so many people. It's so sad. They've lost so many people, and they've lost those gorgeous cities with the golden domes that are 1,000 years old, all because of him and stupid decisions.
All
Russia
this
would have
money, that
never
war
attacked.
should have been won,
President
Twon.
Trump, the question
Yeah,
was,
a lot
will
of
you
money.
accept the results
A
of the
lot,
election,
or
regardless
gave
of
me a
who
pay
wins,
raise
yes
to
or
keep
no?
up with this inflation.
If
it's
I'm
a
one of the
flying,
two.
I'm flying.
Legal and
Exactly.
good election, absolutely. I would have much rather accepted these, but the fraud and everything else was ridiculous. And if you want, we'll have a news conference on it in a week, or we'll have another one of these in a week. But I will absolutely, there's nothing I'd rather do. It would be much easier for me to do that than I'm running again. I wasn't really going to run until I saw the horrible job he did. He's destroying our country. I would be very happy to be someplace else, in a nice location someplace. And again, no indictments, no political opponent stuff, because it's the only way he thinks he can win. But unfortunately, it's driven up my numbers and driven them up to a very high level because the people understand it.
Let's see what your numbers are when this election is over. Let's see. You're a whiner. When you lost the first time, You continued, you appealed and appealed to courts all across the country. Not one
I mean, to
single
be
court
fair,
in America
that's his
said
right
any
to
of your
appeal
claims
to
had
courts
any merit,
for an election.
state or local.
To be
None.
fair.
But
I
you
mean, yeah, all to be
continued
fair,
have
If
but
we're
shit.
looking at this
this
objectively,
lie
I mean,
about somehow
he
there's
has a
all this
right to appeal
misrepresentation,
something.
all this stealing. There is
Only
no
reason Trump
evidence
can
of
get
that
away
at
with
all.
what he get away
And
with
I'll
is
tell you
because
what,
Biden
I doubt
retarded
whether
sure
you'll
than
accept it
he
because
is.
you're such a whiner. The idea if you lose again,
Anybody else in the history of any
can't
president
stand the loss. Something's snapping you in the loss.
being in any condition that these two are in,
We'll be right
we
back
just would have been like, no, fuck
with
both of
more
them.
from the CNN presidential
But
debate.
this is all we got
live
left.
from Georgia.
We
They're
got a
not done
fucking
yet.
we got a fucking felon and a geriatric.
We got
You know what I'm
muted. We
saying?
got him muted, right?
Yes, muted. So it's like in any other situation, this shit wouldn't have fucking flown. But this is what we got left. So
This
what
is
we
what
got
we
left
have.
with an old motherfucker that can't remember shit. And then he'll say some shit and forget that he said some shit. He said a lot of shit today. Like I came into this thing defending Biden. Fuck Trump. You were talking about, but Biden said a lot of shit that supported Trump. And it's like, come the fuck on, man. Like, I don't like neither one of you motherfuckers. I damn sure don't like the way my pockets look with Biden been in office. I was a broke. I was able to pay more bills with less money in the previous years. Like I said, I'm not saying who fault that is and what, because I'm new to politics. Now, I ain't gonna say new, but I'm not a novice. Whatever. I'm intermediate. I'm intermediate when it comes to politics, but I do know that I had more money in my pocket when I made less money. You know what I'm saying? I made less money, but I had more to spend, and now I'm making goddamn 6 figures plus. And I'm figuring like, what the fuck I'm gonna do? Okay, y'all, now we're going on this vacation, and this month we gotta save up for that shit. Like, nigga, if I made this much money a couple of years ago, nigga, hell, I wouldn't be saving up shit. Let's go tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like I said, but at the same time with Trump, I don't know what the fuck is really gonna fucking happen. You know what I'm saying? So I don't like our options, but these are our fucking options. No matter how you want to fucking twist it, no matter how you want to break the cookie when they crumble, these are our crumbs left.
Yeah, I mean, these are the choices. I'm looking at Twitter. I'm looking at everybody, what people are saying. I mean, people can bitch and complain all they want, but these are the choices.
These are
it's
your
either
fucking
one
options.
or the other. I mean, you could say Kennedy if you want to add him, but we got to be realistic. He's not winning. A third party is not going to win this election.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
You can play that game all you want to. That shit ain't gonna fucking happen.
Yeah. That's facts.
I mean, enough people to vote for him. Well, he can have a couple thousand and tell him to shut his little ass up. But nigga, no. It's gonna be Biden or Trump, and shit. If can't nobody understand what the fuck Biden's saying, how can you even win the goddamn debate?
Right.
Because I came in this debate going against the grain.
You said you came in going against the grain?
Yeah, nigga. Okay, check your social media, period. Who else is knowing? Never mind. Don't say that. I'm about to say, who else going through this argument knowing that Biden about to win? But I'm afraid of the answer. You go find some people that I don't want to be in cahoots with.
Hey.
But either way you go, these are the two fucking options that we got, people. Yeah, you gotta get out there and stand for America. And here's the thing: whether these are your two options or not, you ain't got the right to talk shit if you ain't making a decision. I'm not gonna tell you what you can and can't do, but I am telling you what you can't do.
It is now
you can't talk shit if you didn't choose.
Their closing statements
it's closing statement time.
By a coin toss. We're going to begin with you, President Biden. You have 2 minutes.
We've made significant progress from the debacle that was left by President Trump in his last
Shut your ass.
We find ourselves in a situation where, number one, we have to make sure that we have a fair tax system. I ask anyone out there in the audience or anyone out watching this debate, do you think the tax system is fair? The fact is that I said Nobody even making under $400,000 had a single penny increase in their taxes, and will not. And if I'm reelected, that'll be the case again. But this guy has increased your taxes because of the deficit. Number one, he's increased inflation because of the debacle he left after the way he handled the pandemic. And he finds himself in a position where he now wants to tax you more by putting a 10% tariff on everything that comes into the United States of America. What I did, when, for example, he wants to get rid of the ability of Medicare to
that hurts him, man. When he does that, the flicker, I call it the flicker.
To be able to negotiate drug prices with
he buffering and shit.
Well, guess what? We got it down to $35
buffering.
instead of $400. No more than $2,000 for every senior, no matter how much prescription they need. You know what that did? That reduced the federal debt by $160 billion
It's
over
bad,
10
Twon.
years.
It's bad.
Because the government doesn't have to pay the exorbitant prices.
Hey, Cuzzo.
I'm going to make that available
Shut the
to
fuck up.
every senior.
My president is talking.
It's happening now, and everybody in America. He wants to get rid of that. I'm going to make sure that we have child care. We're going to significantly increase the credit people.
I don't want him to talk about child care
Make sure
veterans
we
no
do
more.
something about
No, I
what
don't.
we're doing on lead pipes and all the things that are causing health problems.
Not
for
when
people across the
migrants are
country.
getting all
We're gonna
this
continue
money
to fight to
coming
bring down
over. You
inflation
see New
and
York,
give
they
people a break.
getting paper
Thank you, President
and
Biden.
tearing
President
shit up.
Trump, you now have 2 minutes for your
Benefits, nigga.
People are
Like
pissed.
so many politicians, this
They get
man is just a
military
complainer.
benefits.
He said, we want to do this, we want to do that, we want to get rid of this tax, that tax. But he doesn't do anything. He doesn't do, all he does is make our country unsafe by allowing millions and millions of people to pour in. Our military doesn't respect him. We look like fools in Afghanistan. We didn't stop Israel. It was such a horrible thing that would have never happened. It should have never happened. Iran was broke. Anybody that did business with Iran, including China, they couldn't do business with the United States. They all passed. Iran was broke. They had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah, for terror, no money whatsoever. Again, Ukraine should have never happened. He talks about all this stuff, but he didn't do it. For 3.5 years, we're living in hell. We have the Palestinians and we have everybody else rioting all over the place. You talk about Charlottesville. This is 100 times Charlottesville, 1,000 times. The whole country is exploding because of you, because they don't respect you, and they have to respect their president, and they don't respect you throughout the world. What we did was incredible. We rebuilt the military. We got the largest tax cut in history, the largest regulation cut in history. The reason he's got jobs is because I cut the regulations that gave jobs, but he's putting a lot of those regulations back on. All of the things that we've done, nobody's never seen anything like, even from a medical standpoint, right to try, where we can try space-age materials instead of going to Asia or going to Europe and trying to get, when you're terminally ill, now you can go and you can get something. You sign a document. They've been trying to get it for 42 years. But you know what we did for the military was incredible. Choice for our soldiers, where our soldiers, instead of waiting for 3 months to see a doctor, can go out and get themselves fixed up and readied up and take care of themselves, and they're living. And that's why I had the highest approval rating in the history of the VA. So all of these things, we're in a failing nation, but it's not going to be failing anymore. We're going to make it great again.
Thank you, former President Trump, President Biden. Stay with us because we have full analysis of this debate. Anderson Cooper and Aaron Burnett starts now on CNN.
Well, no, we're not going to do that because we already know that's going to be biased.
What happened? Hold on.
We about to go into commentary. I said, no, that's not necessary because we know that's going to be biased.
Oh, yeah, I was responding to Mike Honcho because he being a hoe on Facebook right now.
What Mike Honcho say?
Just arguing with me for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Being a little girl. What did he say? Hold on, I'll tell you. Hold on, give me a second. I told him I was about to block him because he's being a little hoe. He said, you ain't blocking shit. And that's the part that I find disrespectful. Because he's saying that shit while President Joe Biden is talking. He's our commander-in-chief right now. You don't need to be typing that type of shit while my commander-in-chief is talking. He about to get blocked. I didn't come here to put up with no bullshit. Go grab my drink right quick. Hold on. Why they doing this shit?
Yeah. Yeah. I think we need to go into a video, man. Let me get the crowd hype, man. Let's see.
What you got for him?
I'm gonna play the homie T-Mazz, who was featured on No Jumper, and No Jumper tried to sit up here and roast and say that's not his car, talking about it's a rental in the video, and he said on social media, he said, "Oh no, motherfuckers, that's my car."
Oh, they trying to front on him. Okay,
let's go. Let's get into T-Mazz. You dig? Let's go. And I'm okay to play this because he's good. Let's go. Shoot.
Certified fatty fetcher. I apply heavy pressure. Stairs, not the elevators. I got hella. I was raised by the hustlers. I did it for the customers. I motivate the youngsters and move with the monks. My nose in the playbook. You can tell from the way I look. They hooked from the way I cook. Crooks from the base. So look, still trying to flip a pallet. Mash on a different alley. Get from the Bay Area. They ain't even put a mile in. Wildin' out. Rap niggas can't even pull 1,000 out. We outside. Ain't hiding out. They lying down. Welcome to the Lion's Den. We wired in like a ring doorbell. Y'all get likes and comments. We get more. I done had a long day. Rolex and Cartiers. No ex can ever say I didn't go hard in the pay. Looking for a second chance, but I stuck to the plans. Trying to make 100 bands dance like Chris Brown. You know how we get down. Flies niggas in town. Next knock on him. Yeah, I still get around. Get a bag, baby. Get a bag, baby. I'm all in my bag. Ballin' like that. That money was calling. I brought it right back. Get a bag, baby. Bonafide money getter. I represent the 1%. Is everything wavy with us. You ain't got a babysitter. Michael Jordan in the booth. Sport mode, no roof. I'm not in the mood. Is you trying to win or lose? I'm a champion. I be where you can't be at. I be where the grants be up. My family up. Yo, I'm colder than a Stanley Cup. Make sure you add me up. Flies from the area. So women wanna marry us. Ain't you turn me. Hoes don't concern me. The hustle that confirm me. Holla if you heard me. Grinding all day and night. Louis V's gray and white. In the building like I stayed the night. So we wear it right. Get your paper, young man. Fuck them haters, young man. Had to stay focused up so I could get my motion up. I was at the baggage claim way before I had a name. So I grind harder. So I shine harder. Go get a bag, baby.
Yeah.
Calling, I brought it right back.
Yeah.
Hold on, nigga. In reference to that song about the
call me the rent collector, swerve through the intersection, straight from the winter section. Y'all lack innovation, hustle need renovation. My flow it been a problem, off the shelf like a dinner plate. At Benihana, gangsters, I've been around them. Bad chickens been around them. If you ain't on no bar shit, can't sit around them.
Talk that shit. Let's go.
Hey, hold on. I'm about to send you something in reference to that song.
Huh?
I'm about to send you something in reference to that song.
Yeah.
My damn messages go.
And by the way, shouts to the homie T-Mazz, because I asked the nigga and I said, yo, I'm playing your vid on my live stream. Hope it's okay. He said, that's dope, fam. Thank you. Send me video if you got it. Let's go.
Oh, well, you should have screen recorded this shit.
So I don't want Facebook and all these media platforms trying to talk about I'm using somebody's music. I just talked to that man. Shouts to T-Mazz, and he said it's all greasy.
Hey, hold on. So he's gonna get a bag, baby. Hey, check out that link, baby. Check out that link I just sent you. I got a bag saying loyal to the bag.
Let me.
I got a backpack that say loyal to the bag.
Let's see.
Get a bag, baby.
Oh, you sent it to me in the what's it called?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let me check it out.
Get a bag, baby. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But I mean, while I'm pulling it up, but yeah, it just seems like it seems like Biden is just. Ooh, I like that. Hold on. Let me share that. Hold on. I like this shit. Hold on. Get a bag, baby. Look at that, man. Y'all can check it out.
Yeah, loyal to the bag. You see it.
Loyal to the bag. Needleandthreads.com. Needleandthreadsco.com.
A lot of you kids, a lot of you parents that go to school with these kids that wear uniforms, y'all gotta have them clear bags when they go to school.
Yeah.
So maybe wear them clear bags for them kids' school, loyal to the bag, so you can twist that how you want it to be.
Yeah.
Get a bag, baby.
Yeah, man. Hold on. I'm sitting here sending him the link right now.
You send him the link to the get a bag.
Yeah. Absolutely, man.
But yeah, man.
Well, what are your overall thoughts while we're sitting here and
yeah, that's what I'm about to get into. Man, I don't like Trump. Like a motherfucker. But he talking to my heart more than Biden is right now. You know what I'm saying? Like it felt to me. It felt to me like Biden was saying shit, and I hate to say the shit I'm about to say. Biden was saying shit. It felt like it was filler. It felt like he was saying shit in reference to the question because he know what the people want to hear versus what he's really acting on. You know what I'm saying? Like when he spoke about the veterans and child care, I'm like, nigga, hold the fuck up. I'm a veteran. You know what I'm talking about? 20 years at this bitch, and I struggle getting my shit. I'm a parent, and child care wasn't no motherfucking, you know what I'm saying? So speaking on them two things, it was worse. But then to hear him like, I wish this motherfucker could text what he want to say. You know what I'm saying? More than anything, because like I said, man, I came into this thing cheering for him to go against the grain. Hell, I know damn well my pockets was fatter when Trump was in office. I know for me, I'm not speaking for nobody else, for me in particular. But it's like I said a long time ago, it's a difference between a Trump supporter and a Trump voter. You know what I mean? You got some people who don't like. I see the fuckery in both of them. Some people don't see the fuckery in Trump. Some people make excuses for the fuckery that he does, and it's like I'm not making excuses for that shit. I just think that I had it better off when he was around. You know what I'm talking about? And here's the thing, man. I don't like saying that shit because that his whole relationship with the Proud Boys and all of these whole racist organizations, that weighs heavy on me. But it's harder for me to take care of my family with Biden.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, fuck, nigga. Hey, man, I gotta do what I gotta do. And listening to this speech is like, hey, let's go hard right there. But listening to this speeches is like, I didn't know what the fuck Biden was saying.
Yeah.
I bullshit you not. He was speaking in all low caps and cursive.
The problem is that we at 139. Let's go.
Hey, y'all check out that Needle and Threads code.
Check out Needle and Threads code, man. The problem is it's hard for Biden at this point in his life to relate a lot of the ideas and stuff that he has, that he wants to give to the American people. He can't relay them. The speech and everything just isn't there.
Yeah.
Get another picture while we at 140, you did.
Yeah, we're doing good with that shit, man.
Yeah.
You did good with this one here.
I thought it would be a good idea to do this because I said, I think doing a live stream and starting to do content where we're doing stuff live like this, kind of reactionary.
Yeah.
To the topics and everything, and then give them a little music or something to try to lighten the mood, change the mood up. Shouts to T-Mazz. Let's go.
Already.
Get a bag, baby. That's what everybody's trying to do anyway.
I mean, not to toot our own horn or anything, but I think the fact that sometimes, a lot of time, me and you, hey, T-Mazz, I think Biden has a cognitive impairment, honestly.
T-Mazz is in there?
Yeah, that's what he just said.
Let's go. Shouts to T-Mazz, man.
I don't appreciate him saying that shit, honestly.
But yeah, man, T-Mazz, man, get a bag. Salute to the song. It's that shit's fire. I be slapping that shit. I downloaded it on Apple Music, man. So I play it in the whip on Apple Music, man. No Jumper did you a disservice trying to play you. I know you a Bay Cat. I'm from the 707 myself. So, he had to check him on social media, say, nah, them shits ain't rented. Them shits is my shit.
Already.
Salute to him.
Hey, T-Mazz, while you over there, if you still here, check out my shit at the bottom, dog. Hit me up if you need some custom, some customizery.
Twon does custom stuff, needleandthreads.co.com, promo code Chronicles for 15% off. But yeah,
get a bag, baby.
Salute to T-Mazz, man. That's one of the bangers of the summer, man. I've been slapping that. I'm in the gym playing that on the treadmill.
Hey, matter of fact, T-Mazz, my fault, man. I'm trying to respond to you, but for some reason my shit won't let me respond to you, so I'm responding to you through my comments. But hey, I'm gonna make a get a bag shirt. Do you mind if I use your get a bag song and send it to you first for the shirt? But anyway, but for far as goddamn oh my bad, it'll be just for you. It'll be just for you, T-Mazz. It ain't no main thing. I just want to send it to you for you to wear. But anyway, as far as Biden go, man, it's like a lot of shit I couldn't understand what he was saying.
He said, please do. Let's go.
Hey, you got to say, hey, well, tag me in some of his content so I can reach out to him.
Okay, for sure.
I can't comment on, for some reason I can't comment to him here. Whatever. Yeah. That shit gave me goosebumps and shit. I was trying to play hard.
I got you. I'm commenting to him.
I was trying to play hard because I'm gangster in these streets, but that was pretty crunk and shit. No, for real. But nah, it was just like I don't like going against what I said before because I want to stand on business. But I think standing on business is going against the grain. If you know you're wrong, you learn more. You learn better. You do better. Type shit.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker was fumbling on some shit, man. And the main topics he was fumbling on are things that are closer to me. And I felt like he was fumbling because he was trying to think of something to say that was other than what he had to write because he wasn't prepared for what Trump hit his ass with. And fuck Trump, like with my whole heart, like wholeheartedly fuck Trump. But goddamn. That shit
for me, nigga, like, I don't got time to listen to this nigga whispering, playing telephone all fucking night. I don't got time for that shit, man. Nigga, he came in off the rip hoarse. I'm like, what's wrong with this dude, man? Yep,
that's a true ass story. And nigga, you see me holding my motherfucking goddamn speaker to my ear trying to listen to this nigga, man. I'm just like, come on, bro. Yeah. Like, here I am. I know. What a lot of my military partners that follow me right now, when I put on there, I got $15 on Biden. I know what the fuck I'm prepared. I know what I jumped into. You're talking about I just jumped into a 15-foot deep pool full of shit. They would turn my ass up, and especially after what just happened. So what I was trying to do was go against the grain, just in case Biden came through on his, professionalism. I'm talking straight and loud, cussing and shit. Fuck you, fat motherfucker. Your hair look like cotton candy. You know what I'm talking about? I was expecting him to come in. I was not expecting that. Bullshit, I take that back. I was not expecting that. I was hoping that. That's what I was hoping. And I was hoping he'd come through changing my mind about where I am in this shit.
But if he comes in saying fuck you and all that, I mean, what is the substance because he has to talk about what his record is and what he's done. Bro, both of them have to talk.
But both of them were. Both of them was talking about numbers and shit. But
I mean, if you're a person at home watching this and you're saying, okay, well, both of them are talking about numbers, a person who says, well, shit, my gas and my groceries were cheaper under one person as opposed to what this nigga is talking about now, they're going to look at it like.
Here's the thing, man. Here's the thing. This is what Biden can count on is the fact that groceries do go up almost every year. Because think about from when fucking President Roosevelt was president, groceries were way cheaper back then than they are today. So inflation just fucking happens. So right now, Biden is counting on that. But the thing is this inflation jump ain't like no inflation jump. Them niggas was jumping by pennies. You're talking about like, nigga, my grocery bill went from easy $240 to almost $450 easy for the same fucking basket. Like within a couple grocery shopping periods, nigga, like not even through the year.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not saying, I don't know where the fuck that came from. You're talking about, because like I said, I'm an intermediate when it comes to politics. But what I can say is like, I do remember once upon a time when I was pushing this basket and this motherfucking groceries was $180 for this whole basket. You're talking about, so I do remember that. And now this whole basket, some of the motherfuckers that go by like, you know what, I don't think I need this shit no more. Let me put these back. Some of the people that were putting shit back at the front.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
I don't know if you had mentioned that on here, but I was watching some shit where they were talking about that. But it was like, man, people got to put groceries back, and how not that it's humiliating to the people, to nobody else, but to you as a person. You're talking to get to the register and have to budget what you got, because groceries cost a lot more than what they used to cost.
Yeah.
My weed costs the same amount. So Greg Abbott, I'm gonna need you to go ahead and unfuck yourself.
What do you say?
But here's the thing. I got a medical card for Texas, so I can pay that shit online. That's why I didn't mind doing it. I can do it online now. I got a medical card.
Well, man, we about to wrap up.
They said I'm crazy enough. I need that shit.
Huh. So what's your closing thoughts while we wrap up?
My closing thoughts is, man, y'all get out there and do your due diligence. Like, for real, for real. I mean, I get on here and I talk all of this shit and play and joke. But to me, my family mean more to me than anything. And for the most of y'all feel the same exact goddamn way. So like Cuzzo said, if y'all listen to the podcast, y'all hear what he says. Do what's best for your household. If you're an individual, you're single, do what's best for you. You're a family, do what's best for your household or whatever. But you do got to get out there and do something. You can't not do nothing.
Right.
You tell me you can't not do nothing. So get out there and do something. And then when you do go to the polls, wear your needle and thread shirt.
Yeah.
Wear your needle and thread shirt out there. I want to use Chronicles for 15% off of that shirt or bucket hat or cap or whatever you decide to get. Because ladies, we starting to fill up y'all section too. I got ladies section, so we started to fill up the ladies section too. And
you said it better than I ever could, man.
Oh, bro, that means a lot from the radio man.
I just want to say, like, I'm just going to double down on what you said. Everybody has to do their own research and their own due diligence to figure out what works best for either themselves or their household and make a determination, because these are the picks. We can sit up here and talk about third candidates and everything, but these are the picks until either Biden, for some unforeseen reason, Biden is out and gets replaced or whatever. These are your candidates.
Yep.
I mean, that's what it is. So do your own due diligence. I appreciate everybody tuning in. I'm looking in StreamYard. We're 142 people watching. Salute to everybody watching. Salute to the song of the episode.
Get a bag, baby.
Get a bag, baby. T-Mazz.
Hey, T-Mazz, I'm about to get to working on your shit, man. I'm about to send you something.
I'll send Twon your info, T-Mazz, so you guys can link up and he can do the shirt or whatever, bro. So I appreciate T-Mazz, man. Like I said, I salute to the Bay, man. The Bay's always held it down, and bangers is bangers, man. So I always love a good banger. I thought something like T-Mazz Get a Bag, Baby would help balance that weird-ass debate we saw. So you know what it is, man. And I appreciate everybody for tuning in, watching. This was a great viewership for the debate, man. So, we finna be up out of here.
Peace.
Peace.